Reed Arbery throws it back in the zone. That's going to do it. The seconds count down. The Flin Flon Bombers, SCHL champions for the first time in 33 years.
Creighton Furniture Bomber Hockey is on the air.
I want everybody to know our players are so proud to be playing for our fans. Like, they love it. That is the biggest thing about being a Bomber.
Live from Summerside, Prince Edward Island, it's the National Championship, the Centennial Cup.
This is what we've been really working for and towards since day one.
Live and free on 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
Chance at front, what a goal by Sticky! Miller on a beautiful feed, and Flin Flon is struck again as they score another absolute beauty.
Here with the call the action.
Back up front, nice pass, leads a check, score! Power play goal! Joey Lee!
The voice of your Flin Flon Bombers.
Arbery slides up to check, a backhand reference, scores! Morozov again! He's got his second of the game! And it's another big goal for Flin Flon!
Mr. Rob Hart.
Thank you very much, and welcome back to Credit Union Place. It is the Centennial Cup. We're here, of course, in, yes, beautiful Summerside, PEI. Beautiful day today, the sun out and shining, but it's always a perfect day for hockey. Bombers looking to rebound after a tough 1-0 loss against Longueuil, Quebec yesterday. Played a good game, outshot Longueuil 26-12, but just could not get a puck behind that Longueuil netminder who is just one of the best goaltenders in the country. Big difference yesterday, although I have to give the Longueuil team a lot of credit. Collapsed in front of them, played very well, took away the middle of the ice. Today, Keith Yeager, I think you're going to see a lot different game. The Bombers are going to go from playing one of the best defensive teams in the country to the second best offensive team in the country in the Toronto Patriots. Toronto, of course, has already picked up a very lopsided victory, 8-3 against Sudbury, the first game in the tournament. That was on Tuesday. They score a ton. In particular, their big number one line, Flin Flon will have to shut them down. Tommy Kamaris, Cole Cooksey, Luciano Bruno, in the playoffs alone combining for over 80 points. That's how prolific a scorers that they have.
Yeah, it's just crazy the amount of points that line put up in the playoffs. Look that they played 20 games and their leading scorer Luciano Bruno scored 37 points, 27 assists in those 20 games. Over an assist a game, and then you got Kamaris and Cooksey, who each had 27 goals respectively, or 27 points respectively in those 20 games.
And Cooksey took over right where he left off. He had a 5-point game against Sudbury to open up the tournament, including a hat trick. So we expect them to be obviously a big, big factor. Flin Flon, we know how they won their championship. They did a lot of different ways, being physical, well-rounded scoring, and obviously a very good defensive team. So you go with one of the top offensive teams in the country, one of the best defensive teams in the country. But I still think you're going to see a lot more wide-open affair. And I think with a team like Toronto, I think it's safe to say you don't want to get behind a couple goals. I think if Flin Flon can get off to a good start today, it bodes well, and they can get back to playing Bomber hockey.
You bet. The biggest thing for them for sure is definitely going to be staying out of the penalty box, because Toronto definitely has a good power play. In the regular season, they had a power play of 33% and actually increased that in the playoffs up to 35%. So you're going to want to stay out of the box against them. They got a great team there. I think if they can get out to a lead, like you said, and play good defensive hockey, play their style, and shut them down, and have all four lines running.
Well, and that's how they've been the secret to their success. I mean, you take a look at how they were in the regular season, how they were in the playoffs. They get that early goal. The team really seems to piggyback off that and get a lot of early momentum. But we'll see what happens here today. Like I said, the Bombers, I think it's going to be a totally different style hockey game than we saw yesterday. And you know what? We talk about how good defensively they are, but Flin Flon could skate, and they could fly too. And we thought that about the Yorkton series. You know, with Yorkton being really opening up, and how would Flin Flon be able to match that? Well, they shut them down completely. That could be another factor here today too. And, you know, Toronto plays in a 24-team league. I don't think that defensive hockey is really as big as it is out in the West, in particular Saskatchewan. Toronto might not have gone up against a team that can check like Flin Flon either, so it could be interesting. Maybe the Bombers can frustrate them a little bit here this afternoon.
I agree. I think that most teams have never played a team like ours. The way we're physical, the way we can forecheck, the way we're on the puck all the time, the speed we have, like all four lines, again, have speed. And I think that's going to be a challenge for any team that we're going to come up against here in the tournament, and we're going to have a great, exciting game this afternoon. My expectation is that we're going to see probably close to 10 goals.
Yeah, you're predicting a lot of offense today. You know, it's interesting. You mentioned the one comment about staying on the box. Saying that, Flin Flon's also going to have to score on the power play. I honestly believe for Flin Flon to win the game today, they're going to have to win the specialty teams battle.
I agree. Yesterday they lost that special teams battle.
Yeah, the one goal's a power play goal. Go figure.
Yeah, they didn't actually take a whole lot of penalties against yesterday, but they had chances on the power play, and they just couldn't get one to go. I think that's going to be a little different story today. The penalty kill for Toronto was not that great in the playoffs. They were only at 76% in the playoffs, so that leaves definitely, if you're looking at getting 4 or 5 power plays, you should get a goal or 2.
And they got, of course, Charlie Trenton, a nice prolific lineup. 4 great lines, of course, 6 deep defensemen here today. And like I mentioned, 2 top-notch goalies. Trent will get the call once again between the pipes for Flin Flon today. So you've got the Intermission Cup champion Flin Flon Bombers facing off against the Buckland Cup champions, the Toronto Patriots. I haven't seen Toronto. I missed the first game of the tournament, but I'm excited to see what they can do. There's obviously a lot of hype about them, about the big line, and obviously a team that scares a lot of people, but not Flin Flon. The Bombers like the matchup. They're looking forward to it. And I, for one, looking forward to calling this game here with you once again from beautiful Credit Union Place here.
Oh, it was a pleasure being on the broadcast with you yesterday. I'm really looking forward to this afternoon. It's been a beautiful, beautiful sunny day. Looking forward to watching some hockey here, seeing the Bombers put a few in the back of the net here, get on the board, get some momentum going, and hopefully get a big win.
And one thing's for sure, Keith, we're going to have more people in the building. I mean, you take a look at where we're broadcasting from. The section that was in front of us yesterday, we had like 7 or 8 people. It's filling up. I think you're going to have a very good crowd. I've seen a few new Bomber fans that arrived here, but a lot of people just from the island themselves will come here to check out this game here today. There is a lot of excitement about it. I think a lot of people had it penciled on their bingo card before it began. Flin Flon, Toronto, 2 teams obviously that are very, very good and very, very deep and very, very exciting. I think you're going to see a big crowd here this afternoon. People starting to make their way in here right now.
You bet. Larry Freshen's been doing his job, gathering up all the Bomber fans, bringing them around here, getting them in a big section so we can get the cheers going. I think it's going to, again, really going to be exciting afternoon here. We're only 11 minutes away from puck drop, and I can't wait.
We're going to take a quick break. The Great North pregame coming up. We'll take a quick break, come back with head coach GM of the Bombers, Mike Gregg, and his thoughts about yesterday and his thoughts heading into a big game against the Toronto Patriots today. Like I said, the Intermission Cup champion Bombers against the Buckland Cup champion Toronto Patriots. Coming at you from the Centennial Cup in PEI today, right here on 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
Great North GM is one of the leading new and used vehicle dealers and Flin Flon Bombers supporters in northern Manitoba. Equipped with a highly trained and professional sales department, they also have multiple certified trained technicians on site to make sure you get the best service for your car, truck, or SUV at an amazing price. Visit Great North GM in Nepaul on La Rose Avenue today, because it's always a great day to cheer on our Bombers to go all the way in the Centennial Cup at Great North GM.
Bailey Homes are proud supporters of the Flin Flon Bombers on their journey to the Centennial Cup. With 15 years experience in the North, specializing in RTM homes and foundations, they're so thankful to Flin Flon and surrounding areas for supporting them all these years. Bailey Homes is always happy to chat with a potential customer to show what they can do for our community. Your trusted builder in the North? Visit bailey-homes.ca. Go Bombers, go!
McDonald's and Flin Flon want to congratulate the Flin Flon Bombers on winning their first league championship in 33 years. They're celebrating with a great variety of cold beverages to enjoy all summer long, including the Blackberry Passion Fruit Refresher, Strawberry Watermelon Refresher, and the Mango Pineapple Refresher. Also want to try the new Cloud Iced Coffee, a new premium iced coffee finished with silky sweet cold foam instead of cream or milk. Enjoy all these new beverages at your local McDonald's all summer long. McDonald's wants to wish the Flin Flon Bombers the best of luck at this year's Centennial Cup in Summerside, PEI. Alrighty, welcome to our SJHL Coaches Show, Centennial Cup edition. Mike Reagan once again. The head coach of the Bombers is going to join us. Mike, tough one yesterday, a game that you probably should have had. Again, you held the 12 shots, which is a very remarkable feat in itself, but it's just one of those games. Sometimes the puck just doesn't go in.
Yeah, you're right, Hardy. I mean, there's games sometimes that you win that you don't deserve, and then there's games that you lose that you don't deserve to lose. So, yesterday was one of them. But, in a tournament like this, you got to have short memories, and, you got to get back at her, and you can't feel sorry for yourself. You just move on and focus on the next day.
I think we knew chances are going to be few and far between for both teams. Longueuil, very good defensive team, and of course you gave up the least amount of goals in the SJHL as well, so maybe we shouldn't be surprised it was a 1-0 game. Anyway, that was yesterday. Today's today. Mike, do you expect a totally different game with the way that Toronto likes to score and skate?
Yeah, I mean, they're a high-risk, high-reward team. I think that you got to be careful and make sure that you got a head on a swivel, and you can't give them a lot of opportunities. You got to manage the puck well and make sure that you're taking care of it. And if we do that tonight, I think we'll be okay.
And let's face it, getting off to a good start. Whenever you guys get an early goal, Mike, it just really seems to power your group.
Yeah, we've been a good team all year, getting the first goal usually in the first 5 minutes. And
you almost had one right off the hop with Wyatt Stinton yesterday as well.
Yeah, we did. And actually, we rewatched the power plays from yesterday, and we had a beautiful deflection that somehow their goalie got a blocker on it. We just missed the net on a couple opportunities. I actually thought, after looking at our power play, it was better than what I recalled during the game. And, just pucks didn't go in for us. And, if we keep doing those things and getting those looks, I think that today they will go in for us.
The bigger ice surface, Mike, do you think your group was able to kind of get used to it after the first maybe few shifts?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, at the end of the day, Hardy, we play on big ice surfaces on the road too. It's not just, we don't just play all our games at the Whitney. So we, Yorkton's got big ice surface, Humboldt, Melfort, Estevan. There's only a few rinks in the league that are smaller than regulation. So, for us, it is a little bit different. It's a big rink, but everybody's got to get familiar with it.
Special teams a big part of the game yesterday too. Go figure. Their 1 goal on the power play. A fluky one, but a power play marker. You go 0 for 6 with the extra attacker. Power play's been very good throughout the year. Mike has had obviously some good moments in the playoffs as well. What do you need to do to kind of get back on track? Because that could very well decide this game.
Well, like I said earlier, I like the looks that we got, and at the end of the day, sometimes pucks don't go in, and you play that over again, and maybe you go 3 for 6 on the power play. So it wasn't anything that we were doing wrong. We had some good looks. Pucks don't go in. That's the way it is. That's what hockey's all about. And our penalty kill was 4 for 5. Unfortunately, the 1 goes in, and I didn't like the call on Stinton. It's an unsportsmanlike call, and after I was told what was said, pretty disappointing that at the national level that those kinds of things are getting called. But that's the way it is, and we move forward, and we worry about today.
Good to get it early in the tournament, Mike. You don't want that like in a quarterfinal or semifinal or a final.
Yeah, you're right about that, Hardy. At the end of the day, it's the first game of the tournament. We've got 3 more here. Yeah, I think you need 2 to get into the next part of the tournament, and hopefully we can get 1 here today.
Going to look for a pretty good physical effort from your team again here today?
Well, that's the way we play. We're not going to change. I know there's some people out there that don't think we're going to beat Toronto today, and that's fine. I think our real Bomber fans believe in us, and we've proved people wrong all year. And I think there's probably a lot of people that are thinking Toronto's the favorite here, but I like our team. I think that we're a tough team to play against, and at the end of the day, we won our league too. Everybody here's a champ. Everyone here's a good team. So if you take anybody lightly, you're in trouble.
Well, and anything can happen in 1 game, Mike.
Yep, and we believe we're one of the contenders here at the tournament. We think Toronto's one of them, so it should be a good game.
Well, like you said, though, even look at Thunder Bay yesterday. They gave Canmore all that they could have. I probably should have won the game. So, anybody can beat anybody on a given day. Obviously, a lot of different things go into it. The one thing you always have is the ace in your hole. Nice to have Charlie Tritt back between the pipes.
Yeah, for sure. Tritter's been a great goalie, but, I said this to the guys today. Honestly, Hardy, you're playing against every league's best goaltender, too. You don't get to this point without a really good goaltender. So, goals are tougher to find at this time of year. I think that... we got to have those second and third efforts that we did around the blue paint, and hopefully we can find one. Like we knew going into last night's game that Longley's goaltender is extremely good, and we're going to face good goaltenders every night, so we've got to be sharp.
Any different lineup changes today, Mike?
Yeah, we're gonna put Ulmer in. Lalamer's going to be out. Nothing that he did wrong. We looked at maybe making another change on the back end. But we decided not to. With us playing back-to-back, I think, Ulms is a really good skater. I think that if we can get his speed into the lineup, I think that's a benefit to us.
Well, let's face it, anytime you make an adjustment, it's not necessarily a bad thing. No passengers on this team. Everybody contributed to you winning that championship.
No, exactly. Every guy got in the lineup in the playoffs, including our AP. And, we said all year that we're confident in every guy in that locker room. as I mentioned before yesterday, we had some tough decisions to make now with guys getting healthy. And, again, this is a prime example. Lalamer's been awesome for us. And, again, it's nothing he's done wrong or anything like that. We just figure let's get a fresh body into the lineup. Let's get some speed in the lineup and see if that can be a difference maker.
It should be a lot of fun to watch this game, Mike. I'm sure as a coach you're looking forward to. Like you mentioned, Toronto will certainly be a good challenge for your group.
100%.
Thanks for this, Mike. Good luck here today.
Thanks, Robert.
Mike Reagan, the head coach of the Bombers, once again here on 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
This broadcast is brought to you by Eldorado Gold Saskatchewan, formerly Foran Mining, now part of an even stronger Canadian headquartered mining company, expanding its presence at home. We're proud to continue advancing the McIlvania Bay project, less than an hour from Flin Flon and Creighton. McIlvania Bay is Saskatchewan's first copper mine in over 30 years and a federally recognized project of national significance. As we move towards production, we're building momentum and growing our team. As we near production, we're also investing in exploration to help bring Northeast Saskatchewan's next mining district to life. And we need your help. Apply today at foranmining.com/careers and go Bombers.
Frontline Sport and Leisure are proud supporters of the Flin Flon Bombers, wishing them the best in the Centennial Cup. Frontline has the parts you're looking for to tackle our northern terrain, from quads to side-by-sides, and whatever you need to find the perfect off-road vehicle, visit them in person on Coronation Drive in Creighton or call 688-3333 to find your next ATV and Ranger or cruise around the lake in style with a new boat and motor. Your future is riding on this at Frontline Sport and Leisure.
It's Wednesday night here. I know I don't have the cachet of Saturday night. Even Thursday is bragging about being Friday Eve, and Monday has the whole villain vibe. But now I've got something to stand out with Wild Wing Wednesday at Chicken Chef. 50 cents a wing from 7 to 10. Wednesday night takes a backseat to nobody. Go back to the 90s with your must-see Thursday. Saturday night, overrated. Wild Wing Wednesdays from 7 to 10 at Chicken Chef. It's Wednesday night. You know what that means.
Alrighty, welcome back to Credit Union Place. The anthem, a lot of Bomber fans have gathered in the section right in front of us here at our broadcast location. Rob Hart, Keith Yeager, Game 2 of the Centennial Cup for the Bombers. 0-1, a 1-0 setback against Longueuil yesterday. They'll take on the 1-0 Toronto Patriots, who of course knocked off Sudbury 8-3. That was the tournament opener back on Tuesday. Bailey Home Builders of the game for Flin Flon here today. The hometown product, Ryder Muka, thought he had a nice game yesterday, was in there fighting for pucks, did a nice job. He'll start things off up front. He'll be joined here by Leo Seitz, who had that tremendous chance late yesterday to tie the game, got robbed by the Quebec netminder. They'll be joined out there with Connor Miller, who had a crossbar. And on the back end, we've got our here, have another former Humboldt Bronco in Ryder Knudsen and Sam Ward. Ward, like we mentioned, missed almost the entire playoffs, got back in there for the Game 4 Series championship clinching victory against Yorkton. Gets in there yesterday. How would you rate his performance in yesterday's game?
Connor Miller was the best player in the game, in my opinion, on both teams.
I'm asking about how do you think Ward played?
Oh, sorry, on Ward. It's hard to hear you over all the Bomber fans that are here right in front of us. Yeah, Ward had a great game, too. He had some shots. There was one late in the game where he put it on net. I don't think the goalie saw it.
Flin Flon will get the puck right off the hop here, dump it in. So we're just underway, 7 seconds into the opening period. A lot more people in attendance here today. A lot more Bomber fans have arrived, and obviously it's Saturday, so a lot more of the local people from the island. Again, George Trevor, former Flin Floner, stopping by to say hello. Great to see him. Of course, he grew up in Flin Flon on Church Street and has been here for about 10 years here, enjoying the action today as well. A lot of Flin Flon fans that now live in the area. There's there's Johnny Dougal wanting his interview right now, not realizing that we actually got play-by-play going on. You're going to be interviewing him in the first intermission, by the way. I hope you're prepared.
Oh, well, that's news to me.
Well, you're getting it now. Anyway, Toronto will dump that puck back to the Flin Flon net. That's picked up by Ward. He'll rip it around the boards. Bucha's got it. He'll flip it ahead. Puck knocked down at the Toronto blue line. That's picked up here by their captain. As that's scooped up here by Gacaloni. And he'll get it back to center. And they're going to say that was hit head with a glove pass, so blown down just 36 seconds in. We talked about that big line today. Will that be enough if you can shut down Camaris, Cooksey, and Bruno? Like we said, in the playoffs alone, that's unbelievable. Over 80 points alone in like an entire playoff run. They played 20 games. That's 20 games over 80 points for those guys.
Yes, for a line to average over 4 points a game throughout a playoff run is absolutely insane.
And they're out there now. Cooksey to take the face-off against the Bombers. Wyatt Stinton had that chance right off the hop yesterday. Face-off outside the Bomber blue line. On the draw, here's Rhett Ewan. He'll get his big mitts on it. Shoveled it ahead, picked up by Stinton across the Toronto blue line. Stinton down the wing, a chance, and he ripped that one wide. He was looking low glove side on the Toronto netminder here. Caraculo. Alexander gets that one back in deep. Picked up here, though, by Cooksey. He'll swing that over to the far side to Kamaris, and they're offside. And kind of very similar to yesterday's game, Keith. A little slow going in the beginning, a lot of early whistles, but once the teams find their flow, I think they're going to be treated to some very entertaining hockey in this game here this afternoon.
Yeah, both teams just kind of getting a little feel here in the first minute. Now we're on to the shift number 3 as everyone's getting kind of their legs going, and I think it's going to be a high-speed game.
Well, you called a lot of goals early. I don't know about that prediction, but we'll see what happens. I guess the potential. I think Flin Flon's going to tighten up and play a defensive game.
It could end up being both ways. You never know.
Cooksey against Lees, the face-off outside the Flin Flon blue line. I guess you never, especially in one game, right? It's hard to predict.
Yeah, absolutely. Just looking at the totals for both teams' goals, you figure it might be high scoring, but Bombers got a real good defensive team as well.
Lees gets waved out. Arbery goes in to take the draw, and he'll get the puck back down the Toronto zone. The netminder will play that. That's Caraculo. Leaves it back there, picked up here by Vaca. Vaca for Toronto will swing that pass ahead. Here's Cooksey up the left side at 5 points in the opener against Sudbury. Who brings the puck in deep. Cooksey back to the Bomber net, will hang on, throws it out front. Bombers get a stick on it. Can't clear the puck out. Held in that time by Bruno. Puck looked away. Here's Flin Flon 2-on-2 at center. Arbery tried to hit Morozov at the pass. That got broken up that time by Vacha. Vacha gets it back here. He's forced to regroup back of his net. Arbery watching him. Here comes Delisle racing in there. Almost got to turn it over. Patriots just get rid of it. And they'll swing the puck back up the ice. Flin Flon gets it back. Ryder Knudsen at one time a LaRange Ice Wolf will get that back up the middle. That's deflected by Delisle, taking off his stick set back in the Flin Flon zone. Tritt calling for the ice. The linesmen don't agree. Puck comes right back out front the blue line. Held in here by Palermo. There's a chance. A shot on target. A save made by Charlie Tritt. They had a big guy in front of the net there. That was Hebbleweight, and he's got to be well over 6 feet there, Keith. It was obvious what they were doing with him. They got him in front for the screen, but Charlie somehow got the right pad down to make a good stop. Yeah,
Charlie made a great stop, and it was also able to not allow a rebound, which also is a great thing.
Cummins will take the face-off for Toronto. He'll line up here against Maverick Delisle. Face-off to the right of Charlie Tritt, beaten just the one time yesterday, but it was enough for Longay to pull one of the tournament upsets here early. Had a few of them yesterday. We'll talk a little bit more about that as the game looms on here this afternoon. But a very spirited crowd, in particular in our section here today. Bomber fans, a lot of them off the face-off. Cummins a chance, a shot on target. Great save by Charlie Tritt. He won the draw, got the quick release. Tritt saw it all the way, and that's 2 big saves for the Bomber netminder. We're not even 3 minutes into the opening period.
Well, and that's why he's up for CHL Goaltender of the Year.
Absolutely too big. And look at his rebound controller. You mentioned the rebound in the first one. How about the save on that with no rebound?
Exactly, yeah. And rebounds are almost more dangerous than the shot a lot of the times. And he was able to corral both of those shots and keep the other team from getting another secondary chance.
Big face-off win here for Flin Flon. There's Leo Seitz up the boards here for Miller. Miller, nice job. It went up and hit somebody on the Toronto bench. Too bad because he flipped that puck over the Toronto defenseman's stick, and he has a 2-on-1 if that doesn't hit the player on the Toronto bench.
Yeah, and Miller's been the most dangerous player on the Bombers all the way through the playoffs, and including
their best player yesterday for sure.
Yeah, easily. He could have had a few, and not only that, on the draw yesterday, he was so good on the draw.
17:41 to go, just underway in the opening period. We got a face-off outside the Flin Flon blue line as Seitz will line up here against Ryan. That's Bodie Ryan, not Connor Ryan, who did play out here for Summerside last year. Wouldn't that be something? I'm sure he would have liked to play this tournament, especially with Flin Flon coming back here. Would have been fun for him.
You bet.
Patriots can't get the puck. A big hit there by Connor Miller. Flin Flon going to the attack. You're looking for their first offensive chance of the game. They get the puck in deep. Ryder Muka back of the net. Beautiful body check by Connor Miller, like we mentioned. Good job here, though, by Howard, the Toronto D-man. Can't clear it out. Puck held in by Fashon. Has the stick knocked out of his hand. Leo Seitz tries to keep it in. Seitz in the corner, trying to throw it right back out front. Flin Flon, good forecheck. Knocked out by Moody. A shot on target. That one steered away that time by Cracklio. Toronto will send the puck up the left side. Racing after it. Here is Karmaris. They got the dangerous line out there right now. Mounier, though, back to take care of his own zone. Gets it ahead to Rhett Ewan. Rhett Ewan kicked that one back to center. He gets it back again. Ewan down the wing. Ewan cuts in a chest from a sharp angle. Stick save made by Cracklio. Flin Flon gets the puck out front. Ewan is knocked to the ice. Patriots dump it up the ice. Looking for a home run pass. They had it, but it just popped up over the stick that time of the forward, McQuicken. He was in the clear. He's got a clear-cut breakaway if that doesn't jump over top of his stick.
There's one of the high-risk
And Caracchio will make the stop and hang on. Shots are 3-2 in Toronto's favor here on the Orland Motel shot clock, where we're starting to see the period open up a little bit there, Keith.
Yes, both teams in the last minute here have had chances to get odd man rushes or even close to a breakaway there for Toronto.
Yeah, that just hopped up over top of McCucken's stick. If he gets that, he's in alone for sure. Face off inside Toronto territory, left of the Toronto netminder. Cracklio is Lees will line up for the draw here. Looks like he's lining up here against Tate Collins. Bombers win the draw. Here's Yakimchuk along the boards. Picked up here by Morozov. Leaves it there. Yakimchuk a chance. And off the glove that time. Flin Flon's been able to get some good chances here in the early going. Braden Bruce trying to hold the line here at the left point. Puck is bouncing on him. Puck gets kicked out. Grabbed here by the Toronto D-man Batcha at center. He's across the Bomber line. He'll dump that in back of the Flin Flon net. Braden Bruce along the boards. Tries to play that ahead. A couple of Patriots are double teaming him. They'll get the puck free. But Arbery there to assist. Gets a stick on it. But can't clear the puck out. Bruce again will rim that around the boards. The far side. Leafs waits for it. Trying to chop at it. Lunin took it from him. They'll keep the puck inside Flin Flon territory. Morozov racing after the puck. Grabbed it at the Flin Flon blue line. Here's Daniel Morozov. Some room to move at center. Morozov stick handling inside the Toronto zone. Down the right side. He'll bring it in. Pass up front. Oh, the Bombers come close. They can't jam it in. Opportunity there for Jack Martin. How'd the puck stay out? I think the Toronto netminder Cracklio got a paddle of his stick down.
I don't know how he stopped that. That was
Jets again out front. And that backhander goes wide. The Bombers cut closer in the early going, but Toronto's got the puck at center. Karmaris back out front. There's a chance. Fired on target that time by Cooksey. And Charlie Trent to save. The Bombers 3 outstanding chances in front of the Toronto net, but could not get that puck in.
There's already been more chances to score in the first 5 minutes of this game than there was all game yesterday with Longueuil.
I think it's going to be a very entertaining game. I think you're going to see with the way that these teams like to open it up. I guess one, like we mentioned, is a pretty strong defensive team. Toronto's all offense, and I think it's going to be fun just to see kind of the chess match that evolves throughout this game.
There's definitely going to be some chess play. The Bombers are going to have to be real careful to watch out for that home run pass.
Cooksey set for the face-off here inside the Flin Flon zone. He'll line up here against possibly the best face-off man in all of the SJHL and Connor Miller. Again, guys are moving early, and here in this tournament, they do not put up with it. If you move early, they kick you out right away. There's no fooling around. So Cooksey gets booted out. Bruno will be able to take the draw here against Miller to the right of Charlie Trent. Shots, by the way, 5-3 for the Patriots here so far in the Orland Motel shot clock.
It's actually 5-3 Bombers.
I can't figure these benches out here. Bombers will dump the puck in. It makes sense after those 3 chances they just had. Because Flin Flon was on the other side yesterday, and I screwed that up too. So you're sure it's 5-3 Flin Flon, right?
Yeah, we're the guests today.
All right. Puck is set inside the Flin Flon zone. There's the drop pass to Bruno. Bruno looking to set up. Gets it back out front. There's a one-timer. They score. Right on the stick of Cooksey, and he scores his 4th of the tournament. Bruno able to feed it out front to him, and he'll let the one-timer go. And he beats Charlie Trent 5-hole at the 5:29 mark. And we talked about this line, how good they are. That's a big goal there from Cooksey, already his 4th in the tournament.
That was a great pass. You got to watch out for Bruno. You can see by the assists he put up in the regular season, the playoffs for this team. He's their leader. He had 44 assists in 38 games in the regular season. That was a great cross-ice pass right on the Cooksey stick, and Cooksey made no mistake.
No hesitation at all, right? As soon as it's right there, he's just letting it rip. To be honest with you, that just goes to show you his skill level. When he initially set the pass, I didn't think it would be as dangerous as it was, and it's in the back of the net.
Yes, Bombers are going to have to be aware of that for sure. That's a great line.
Toronto takes the early 1-0 lead. That's Kooks. He's fourth in the tournament. Bruno, 1 assist for sure. We'll see if a second one's added. Pashon tries to get back inside his own zone. Had his stick lifted. Puck back of the Bomber net. Rhett Ewan will flip that back over the far court. Alexander had a good chance the last time he was out there. That puck, though, got blocked. This is Pashon. Inside his own zone. Feeds that one back here to Rhett Ewan. Ewan lets nice move up the left side. Rhett Ewan. Here's Ewan trying to cut in a chance, and the save made. Rebound cleared back of the net. Alexander tries to throw it out front, and it makes its way to the blue paint and grabbed here by Cracklio. Did you get a second assist on that one, Keith? Did you hear if there was one? Or?
No, sorry, I missed that.
All right, we'll try and grab it here. 13:53 to go in the opening period. Toronto leads it 1-0. Go figure, that's how a hockey game works. Flin Flon pressing. Some great chances at the one end. Can't put the puck in. Toronto comes back and bang, gets the goal to take the lead.
I'd like to see the replay on how the Bombers didn't score on that cross-ice pass. The goalie was on this side.
I think he got the paddle down and made a tremendous stop. Bombers will send it back in deep. Flin Flon will try to jump on it here, so they'll try to work it back out front. There's a chance! Jamming away! Can they get the puck in? No, they can't. A great opportunity for Morozov. And once again, the Toronto netminder Cracklio, he's looked pretty good here early, has he not? He's made 7 saves.
He's made some big saves already. The Bombers have had some good pressure on him. Hopefully they can find the back of the net here soon, get some momentum, get some confidence going.
Yeah, I think they kind of have to try to find a way to answer this goal for sure.
Yeah, I don't think you want to play from behind on this team and have to play any run and gun. That's definitely for sure, because this team can skate. They've got some guys who definitely can put the puck in the back of the net.
I've not put the goal up on the official CJHL website yet, but I know Bruce got 1 assist for sure. We'll see if there's a second one added when they can get that up there. The Arbery, Lees, and Morozov line will stay out there for Flin Flon. You've got Pashon who's got the puck right now. Middle of the ice, a chance, shot right on again. And Cracklio will make the save. So some good looks for Flin Flon, and you're right, they've already had way more scoring chances in the opening period so far today. They had all of the first period yesterday, and we still have 13 and a half minutes to play.
Yeah, they're going to get their chances today. They got to find a way to get a couple of the back of the net. Like I said, get some momentum going here and get some confidence. And I think if they can get some confidence and then start playing some defense, they're going to have a great game against Toronto.
Got to get the monkey off their back, get their first goal of the tournament. Lunin for Toronto takes off down the wing. He'll try to get that on target. Ward got a piece that knocked it off target. Morozov is in there. Puck will go deep in the Flin Flon zone. There's Reed Arbery trying to fight off a check here. Nice job by Sam Ward. Gets it ahead to Lees. And he'll feed up the left side. Morozov now in Toronto territory. Pass out front! There's an opportunity for Lees as he gets out there and deflects it over top of it. Now he's mixing it up here. But back to the Toronto D-man. What a great look pass that time by Sam Ward.
I think it was Morozov that threw the pass.
Ward threw the first one to feed it all the way up the left side of the ice.
True, yes.
That created the whole opportunity when he fed it right across the zone like that.
True, and yeah, great passes by both guys. Morozov to have the eyes to be able to throw that saucer pass and just have a chance for Joey Lees to get a chance to score there. They just went a little high over the glass, but the Bombers are getting chances. They're gonna get some chances here that they score.
Sam Ward made a great move with the blue line. Then a nice cross ice pass. It was perfect. They got them inside the zone there. Maybe Flin Flon can exploit the Toronto D a little bit. When you talk about the stretch pass the one way, maybe Flin Flon can exploit them with the stretch pass. They almost did there.
Well, you got to think that the way the Toronto plays, that they're going to have a lot of forwards in deep. They're going to get some chances for some 3-on-2s and 2-on-1s.
Delisle lining up for the face-off right now as he'll take the draw here against McGuicket. Deep inside Toronto territory, to the left of the goaltender Cracklio, but Toronto wins the draw. Well, dump it down to the Flin Flon zone, not enough for an icing call. Here's Maverick Delisle at center. Can't find the handle. Knocked away that time by Longo. Longo then will poke that one ahead as it's set inside the Flin Flon zone by Ryan. Ryan loses the handle. Mounier will push that up the boards. Almer getting his first Centennial Cup taste of action, knocked it down, but puck did come across the blue line. They sold it well, but it did come across, and they'll blow that down with 12:44 remaining. In the opening period, a 1-0 Toronto lead. Shot still favoring Flin Flon. I'm glad we got that straightened out. 8-4 in the I can't figure out which is the guest or home benches here with these two teams that don't play here regularly. I'm glad you're on top of that.
I just happen to get her there, Hardy. That's what I'm here to do, is back you up.
We were in the wrong broadcast booth yesterday, too, and I didn't know that either.
Yeah, well, hey, they both look the same, actually. So.
We're living and learning out here at PI. The people are friendly and nice, and it's been a nice certainly trip so far. Hopefully the Bombers can get a goal and get back in this hockey game, make it a little bit better for a lot of their fans that have traveled halfway across the country for this big event.
There's twice as many fans here today as yesterday.
Easily. Miller tried to knock that one down, comes back to Mounier, can't knock it down. It comes across the Bomber line. There's Pichon there to get it. Back to center ice. I think Miller got a piece of it. No, he did not. Linesman didn't think so. He'll blow that down. So a face-off coming back inside the Flin Flon zone. Again, Toronto had 1-0, and really interesting to see if the Bombers can respond here.
I thought Miller had a tip on that too, but now we're back on our own end with after the icing. But we got the best face-off man on our team out there, so it shouldn't be a worry.
Connor Miller all set to take the draw. They still not posting this score up here. They're really slow with that here. Miller will take the draw against Cooksey. The big line's already struck once. They're back out there again. Cooksey against Miller. The face-off deep in the Flin Flon zone to the right of the Bomber netminder Miller. And Miller wins another big draw. Puck picked up. Miller along the boards. Puck squirts free to Seiss. Can't get it out. Knocked down by Cooksey. The drop pass here. Held in here by the D-man. That's sent in deep by Palermo. Flin Flon will get it free, though. Palermo got his glove on it. Didn't see Miller. Knocked him off the pole. They're offside. What a great opportunity there. Miller came over, made a great play. Palermo didn't have it cleanly on his stick. And again, it looked like Miller might get a great chance there, but they're offside, blown down.
Yeah, the Palermo there, he tried to glove the puck and he only got a piece of it, went over his head, and I guess unfortunately for the Bombers, Miller was just slightly over the line before the puck went there, and otherwise they would have had a 2-on-1.
Here's a question for you, Keith. We have 11:55 remaining in the opening period. Have you seen a body check either way in this game yet?
Nothing like yesterday, that's for sure.
Off the face-off, Toronto has the puck. They're up the middle. That's going to go deep in the Flin Flon zone. Knutson back to get it. Up the boards to Alexander. Knocked away. Comes in front of the Bomber net. Ward will clear it away. Ward. Another good job to knock it down. Gets it ahead to Alexander. 3 Bombers away at center. Here's the pass down to Ewan. Stops! Shoots! That one ends up changing direction and goes wide of the Toronto net. Knutson, can he keep the puck in? The puck will roll back to the Toronto net as Flin Flon tries to work it back out front. There's Alexander. Good work along the right-hand boards. Shoveled it back in deep that time to Wyatt Stitton. Can't hold the line. Knocked off Stitton's stick. It comes back to center. Here's Ward. He'll get a hold of it. He'll send it off the glass back inside the Toronto zone. Knocked down back of the net that time to the Toronto netminder Cracklio. Tried to play that one ahead to Cummins. Flin Flon again keeps it in deep. But that's grabbed by Vacha. Made a good move. Vacha, the Toronto D-man, to his blue line. To center. Vacha now across the Bomber line. Dropped it back to Murray. A chance. Look out. Redirected off a Bomber out front and hit Jakubchuk. And a great job that time by Charlie Tripp to track that puck and make the save. 10:56 to go. And Flin Flon still trying to get that elusive first goal here of the tournament.
Oh, great save there by Charlie after the deflection off our own guy. He managed to corral the rebound as well there, too, even when he wasn't expecting the shot. We got a face-off on our own end, and Joey Lee is going to take it.
Face-off to the right of Charlie Tripp. Lee's will line up here against Cooksey, who's got the goal here for Toronto, by the way. His 4th already of the tournament. Had a hat-trick against Sudbury in the opening game. Cooksey, though, going to get waved out of the face-off circle. And Bruno, who assisted on that opening goal, will go in to take the draw. Now they're going to wave Leeds out. Guys are starting to get frustrated here, Keith. They're playing, and the fans not happy about all the players getting tossed out of these face-offs.
Oh, yeah. They're not really giving them much chance. They just both line up, barely move, and they're out of the face-off.
Morozov to center ice will carry the puck in. He looked good yesterday. He's looked good so far again here today. Toronto gets the puck back at center, though. Dumped in on Charlie Trent. He'll sweep this one ahead over to Bruce. Back of the goal, it goes to Mounier. Up the boards. Lees gets a stick on it. Makes a good play. Joey Lees to center. Lees across the Toronto line. Dropped it back to Arbery. Arbery knocked down on the play. Puck comes in front of the net. And Morozov will race after it. Morozov will try to get a stick on it. It's rimmed right back around the boards. Big body check there. Oh, Arbery. Nice job to knock down the Toronto D-man Palermo. Nice body check there. Best of the game. Puck comes back to blue line. Fired over top of it at that time by Longo. Arbery back on it. Pass to Morozov at center. They'll go off for a change. Morozov will flip the puck inside Toronto's zone. And that's grabbed here by Palermo. Palermo back to Loden. He'll chip it back down the ice inside the Flin Flon zone. Trick out of his own net. Back around the boards. This is Ulmer. Ulmer. Knocked to the corner. Mounier there to assist. Tried to freeze it up here. Puck comes to the side of the Flin Flon net. Tripp will grab it and hang on. Good forecheck there by the Patriots. 9:44 to go opening period. Toronto has a 1-0 lead. We have a media timeout. We'll come back with more from the opening period here at the Centennial Cup here on 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
McMunn & Yates Building Supplies is proud to be supporting the Flin Flon Bombers. They know that the Bombers won't hold back and will make everyone proud in the Centennial Cup. And just like the Bombers, refuse to hold back on your spring projects. Find hot deals on everything you need to get started, from bold paints to new tools and flooring to a new toilet. Celebrate 55 years of business with the McMunn & Yates Big Anniversary Sales Event. And go Bombers go!
The Flin Flon Credit Union is a proud supporter of the Flin Flon Bombers and wishes them all the best at the Centennial Cup Championship. From buying your first home to reaching your investment goals or just finding what savings account is right for you, your credit union is there to help you succeed. Handle your banking right from the app or head on in and enjoy the personal service. Flin Flon Credit Union. Go Bombers, go!
And we're at beautiful Credit Union Place today. Toronto, though, the 1-0 lead on the Bombers midway through the opening period. Shots 8-5, Flin Flon on the Orland Motel shot clock. And a big face-off inside the Flin Flon zone. The left of the Bomber netminder, Charlie Fred, already counted upon for some big stops. And we'll get set for this face-off deep in the Flin Flon zone. Looks like Wyatt Stinton's going to take the draw here for Flin Flon. He'll line up against Tate Collins. So Collins against Stinton. At least at this point, we'll see if they wave somebody out or not. The fans were a little bit ticked off the last sequence of events, but they get this one done cleanly. Toronto wins the draw. Flin Flon, though, will get the puck out eventually. The puck will roll back to center ice. Palermo has it here for Toronto. Dumps it back in the Flin Flon zone. Trick gets a piece of it back of his own net. Yakubchuk in there as he races in. Puck comes the blue line. Chaz Palermo out front. Wide open net. Big save. Rebound. Trent will slide across and get his glove on that. Boy, did Palermo ever have a lot of open room in front of that net. The puck came out front. He walked right in, got a good chance. Trent made the save, and the rebound just gradually goes to the side of the left post. And nice job by Charlie Trent to track the puck and hang on. But Toronto that close to making it 2-0.
Alexander lost another blade, and that's what happened. That's why Palermo ended up wide open. He was trying to get off the ice.
Same thing happened to him yesterday.
Yeah, that's twice. And he had to go all the way across the ice. He was as far away from the bench as he could be, and Palermo skated in right in. Great save by Charlie Tritt.
Seitz to take the face-off here against Bodie Ryan. Seitz is going to let Miller go in and take the draw. This will be once again deep in the Flin Flon zone. Connor Miller, another face-off win. He just never loses this guy. Here's Ryder Muka. Center ice, gets a hold of it, hammers it inside the Toronto zone, and it'll come right back out front. The Toronto netminder, Cracklio, not taking any chances there. He'll glove that and hang on, and been very good with his rebound control so far today. Maybe doesn't have quite the hype coming into some of the other goalies of the tournament, but Mike Reagan made a great comment in the pregame. Every single team's got a good goalie at this tournament.
Yeah, you don't become get to the national championship and win the championship in your own league without having a great goalie, that's for sure.
Face off inside Toronto territory. Miller out there one more time to take the draw against Ryan. Miller, Seitz, and Muka is the forward group for Flin Flon. You've got Ward and Knutson on the back end here. Knutson was absolutely fantastic again yesterday. One of these guys, you're not going to see him show up tons in stats, but I'll tell you what, he is as good and as solid of a defenseman as I've seen in the SJHL this year. And we take a look, I know there's been a lot made, obviously, the contributions of Connor Miller and Charlie Tritt, helping Flin Flon win the championship. Knutson's been a valuable piece as well. Those three players that Flin Flon brought in, all very instrumental in helping him win that first trophy in 33 years.
Well, if you look at it on most nights, that's your starting line. You got your starting goalie, you got one of the starting D, and Connor Miller definitely could be your starting center on any given night.
Face-off moves down the Flin Flon zone. Miller wins another draw. Go figure. Yakubchuk back in his own net. Around the boards to Seitz. He's got it. Seitz will take a look. That pass got blocked. Ryan got a stick on that. Then the puck is picked up at center ice this time by McGickin. McGickin will drop that back to Vacha. Vacha then sends that one over to Trazo. Trazo to Cooksey. In for Ryan. Ryan down the left side. Walks in, a chance out front. They score. Redirected in front of the net that time. Scored by McGuckin. And it's a 2-0 Toronto lead. Nobody took McGuckin. He got to the front of the net. He got the redirection there. And Toronto will quickly take a 2-0 lead here with 8.5 minutes to go. You get to the net, Keith, good things happen. That's what happened with McGuckin there.
Well, and one of their top players, again, Cooksey, comes through. He set up that play to get them into the 2-on-1. And, you get a 2-on-1, you can make a nice pass, and there's a good chance you're going to get a goal.
I believe that's McGuckin's first in the tournament. We'll wait for the announcement here because they're not posting anything on the website. So do me a favor, Keith, when they announce the goal, see if you can catch the assist for me.
You bet.
Because I don't know if we'll be able to get them online. They're not updating anything else. Anyway, a 2-0 Toronto lead, 8.5 minutes to play in the opening period. And good job by McGuckin to get in the front of that. This high-powered Toronto offense has struck not once but twice here in the opening period. And they get the puck back inside the Flin Flon zone yet again. Here's Reed Arbery. He'll dump that one ahead. Grabbed here by Bonavoda. The Toronto D-man will feed that one back over to Howard. Howard's got some room. He's at center. Sends that pass just a little bit too far that time for Havelwaite. There's Morozov. That second goal can take a little bit of steam out of Flin Flon, it looks like. There's a chance in front again, and that would rip wide that time by Cummins. It is McGuckin's first of the tournament. We'll just get the assist now. So Ryan, the lone assist on that one. And that is the official on the second Toronto goal. They lead Flin Flon 2-0. 7:39 to go in the opening period. The good news for the Bombers is lots of hockey still to go here today. And here's a chance in front there. And batting on it again was Ryan Almer. The chances have been there. Flin Flon maybe a little bit snake bit early in the tournament. You get a feeling they get that one goal, just take kind of the monkey off their back.
Yes, this is like I was saying. They just get that one to go in to get some confidence going because that was a glorious chance. Just
Toronto
missed.
Back to the attack. Cooksey throws it out front. Good job that time by Martin to knock it away. Delisle up the boards, up the glass. He'll flip that puck out. And Flurno, the Toronto D-man, will race back. He feeds that one over to Bonavoda. Bonavoda's pass gets intercepted here by Knutson, but Toronto will jump on it again. Bruno across the bomber line, throws it out front. Grabbed here by Ward. Sam Ward. Gets it ahead to Seitz. Feeds that pass back to Miller. Miller will get a hold of it. He'll shovel it back inside the Toronto zone. Here comes Ryder Buka. Big body check back and then he stepped into Longo. Flin Flon tries to hold it in. Would get a goal here late in the period. Would be a big factor for them. Toronto, though, will get the puck free. Here comes Cooksey. Look out. Cooksey up the right side. Across the bomber line. Cooksey hangs on. Throws it up the net. Kicked away that time. Good save by Charlie Trick. Cooksey has scored here today. 4 to lead the tournament so far. It's Fashon, though, for Flin Flon. He's got the puck at center. Fashon will take off, but knocked away at the Toronto blue line. Collins has it now for Toronto as he'll flip it back at Flin Flon territory. Tritt stopped it back of the goal. Mounier poked it along the boards to Arbery. Stinton can't get to it. Vatcha holds it in. His shot over top of the bomber net. Tritt doesn't have his goalie stick.
Yeah, he got caught up with the Toronto player going by.
Flin Flon will clear the puck ahead, though. Stinton looked to get a piece of it, but knocked away from him at center. Stinton gets it right back. Oh, it skips off his stick. Couldn't knock it down cleanly. Loon's got it. He'll fire it back at Flin Flon territory. Tritt will go up and grab his stick, and now he's got his weapon back in his hand. Puck deep inside the Flin Flon zone as both teams battle for it. Deep in the left-hand corner, 5.5 minutes to go. Shots are dead even at 8 apiece, but it is a 2-0 Toronto lead on goals by Cooksey, his fourth, and McGuckin has picked up his first. Here's Reed Arbery to center. Lifts that one back to Stinton. He'll flip the backhander inside the Toronto zone. One thing Toronto does do well, the puck doesn't stay in their own end very long. They've got it out again. Here's a pass now for Lunin up the left side. Lunin to the front of the net, trying to get a stick on it that time. Just off the tip of his blade was Ryan.
They're very good at the cross-ice pass.
They are. Ryan got the assist on the second goal. That hits a body, comes out. That's similar how they got their first goal, right?
Yes.
And McGuckin, both goals are guys going to the net. 4:47 remaining, opening period. Flin Flon has the puck in their own zone. This is Ulmer. Had a chance the last time he was out there. Made a good move at center. Gets the puck in deep. Ulmer still after it. Oh, he tried to pedal that out front. We're going to get our first penalty of the hockey game, and I think it's going to go against Toronto.
Yes, great moves by Ulmer there. He made 2 or 3 nice deep, got himself in, and he would have had a great chance to score, but took a slash, and now we're going to the power play.
4:36 to go. We talked about this, especially Keith, before the game. This is a big opportunity here for Flin Flon.
Yeah, going 0 for 6 yesterday. You heard Mike Reagan say that they had their chances, and Toronto's penalty kill, once again, we were talking about earlier before the game that they were only 76% on the PK in the playoffs. They should get their looks here. They need to find the back of the net, get that confidence going, and they should be able to carry that momentum and hopefully get at least one here before the end of the period.
Well, the Bomber power play number 1 in the league this year at 24.7%. Again, we talked about the heavy hitters, Joey Lees, who amongst the league leaders in power play goals with 14. Next on the team would be Connor Miller, 9. He had 6 with Flin Flon, 3 with Humboldt. There'll obviously be factors, as will Reed Arbery, who had 7 power play goals as well in the regular season. Seitz has got the puck back of the Toronto net. Pitching in there was Yakimchuk. Lees tries to hold it in and work along the boards. Lees once again able to hold it in. Now it comes out, and the puck is set down the ice. Trent will stop it. 1:36 to go in the power play. 4:10 to go in the opening period. Toronto in front 2-0. We're talking Patriots, not Maple Leafs. Maverick Delisle back to center. Here's Vachon. Leaves it there for Seitz. Seitz will carry that puck in. The Bomber fans trying to get behind their team here. A good number of them in attendance here this afternoon. Leo Seitz back of the net, being pinned up along the wall this time by Vacha. Buke in there as well. Good job to throw that puck to Lee's back of the net. Puck intercepted, though. Down the length of the ice it goes. Good penalty kill here by Toronto early.
Yeah, good pressure. They were on the Bombers all the time there. The Bombers need to start outnumbering them when they're getting in the corners.
They're not getting a lot of offensive zone time. They've had chances, but the puck is not in the zone for an extended period of time. Here's Miller. We'll see what he can do. Back of the goal for Alexander. He took a good bump there behind the net. Flin Flon tries to hold it in. Arbery had a chance, but it got away from him. Arbery tangled up. Now he gets it. He'll flip it right back in. 35 seconds to go in the power play. 3:10 to go in this opening period. Toronto leads it 2-0. Flin Flon needing a goal.
Alexander lost another one.
He loses a blade yet again, and he's doing everything he can to get off the ice here. And they got to wait for him to get off, and nice job by Muka to help him get off the ice. And now they'll get that other attacker out there, which is Morozov. He's definitely had problems with that skate. Arbery hangs on. That shot got blocked. Puck picked up by Toronto at the Flin Flon low. They almost had a short-handed breakaway there for Bruno. Bombers get it back. Here's Rhett Ewan trying to get back to Morozov. Puck knocked away. Comes back to Bruce at center. He'll hammer it in. The power play is over. I don't think Flin Flon had a shot, did they?
They hardly had the control of the puck in the end.
Nice penalty kill here by the Patriots. They lead it 2-0. 2:24 to go in this opening period. Flin Flon will dump the puck back inside. Toronto will dump the puck back inside the Flin Flon zone. This is Bruce. Back up to center. Here's a chance for Morozov. Morozov, left wing. Oh, he had Ulmer open out front, but the puck went a little bit behind him. Nice setup, though. Here's Mounier, a chance on target. And Cracklio will make the glove save and hang on with 2:03 to go. Missed opportunity there for Flin Flon on the power play.
Ulmer's looked good here so far tonight. He's had a couple of
Morozov and Miller, the 3 best forwards.
Yes, for sure. That all 3 of them are creating here tonight. Ulmer's that missed the one chance there where it just went past the heel of his stick. Right there, the Morozov just missed him on that pass, or he would have had the same type of goal with a one-timer there that Toronto got.
9-8 the shots for Flin Flon, the Orlando Motel shot clock. But again, Toronto leads it 2-0. Goals by Coopsey, his 4th, and McGuckin, his 1st. Big face-off in the Toronto zone on the right of the net minor for Cracklio here. Lang Stinton back out there for Flin Flon to take the draw here against Guayaclone. Bombers win the face-off. Ulmer will throw it in back of the net looking for Martin. Flin Flon holds it in. Puck will roll back inside the Toronto zone, but they will move it. Can't get the puck out. Great job by Stinton. Stinton, walk again, shoots it to save made, and a good chance there by Flin Flon. And Cracklio will shut the door. Great job by Wyatt Stinton. Knocked the puck down, kept it inside the zone, and that probably is as good a chance as they've had in the entire opening period.
Yeah, other than that one where we don't know how the
there's a scramble in front, yeah.
But they got to continue to do what they're doing in this shift here, is getting it on the forecheck, because that's where the Bombers excel, is getting along the boards, making the D-men move the puck quick.
The next goal in this game is very, very big.
Absolutely.
Toronto leads at 2-0. They do get the puck out. 1:40 remaining. Knutson at the Bomber blue line. Feeds that one ahead to Ulmer, but that got intercepted here by Vacha and set back down in the Flin Flon zone. Off the boards, it's Martin. Can't knock it down. Comes back to Knutson. Knutson played it ahead. Here's Martin at center. Knocked off his stick, set back inside the Flin Flon zone again. That'll be an icing call. And Ward will touch up back of his own net. If you're Mike Reagan, I don't know if you can be really you're disappointed. You're down a couple of goals, but you can't say the chances haven't been there.
No, it could easily be a 2-2 game here for sure. Like that one save that he made there that we don't again know how he managed to keep that one out. They've had a couple other chances. Ryan Ulmer missed basically an empty net there when he just went past the heel of his stick, and the one-timer pass that was just a little too far for him to reach.
Miller to line up for the face-off here. Wins the draw. Back to Knutson. A lot of people in front of the net. Knutson will elect to carry it in back of the goal. Sights along the wall as well. Feeds it back to the plate. Held in here by Ward. Long shot. That went wide. Grabbed here quickly, though. Circling out front. Yuka. Yuka, chance. Shoots it. That hits somebody in front. Boy, another great chance there. Puck is sent off the glass back inside the Flin Flon zone. And Knutson back to get it. He gets taken down back of the net, but Yuka back to get it. He'll flip it ahead to center ice. Knocked down here by Howard of Toronto. Back to Vacha. Vacha feeds it back to Howard. Look out. Chance up the middle now. Walking in that chance. Walking in with an opportunity. That time was Morey. Morey gets it back. And back out front again. Puck bounces in. They score. 3-0 Toronto. Cummins batting that puck out of midair. And boy, they have made the most of their opportunities here today. Cummins will bat that one in midair. It's a 3-0 Toronto lead. And these ones at the end of periods, Keith Yeager, they're backbreakers.
Oh, yeah, the Bombers have played so well the last few minutes, getting some chances and those kind of things. And that puck there just bounced up in the air, and it was a great play, batted right out of the air.
Nice goal by Cummins. I believe that might be his first in the tournament as well. We'll get Keith Yeager to listen in for the official on that one until they decide to start updating goals on the CJHL website. But 27.6 seconds to go, boy, Toronto. You know, Flin Flon looks like they're fighting back, and anytime that Toronto's needed a big goal, they've scored it. Very opportunistic.
Yes, they have. Basically, every time they've had a good chance to score, it's gone in for them.
One last chance for Flin Flon. Here's an opportunity. Shoots it. A big save again. Rebound over top of that boy. Two great chances that time for Reed Arbery. They cannot beat Caraglio today. Toronto gets it back to center. Here's another chance. 2-on-1. The dangerous Cooksey. There's a chance. Big save. Trent not sure where the puck is. Rebound clear to the corner. Puck comes out front. They just fire it wide again. So holy cow, a mad scrum as the period will come to an end. Hebelwaite will get one assist there. So Hebelwaite gets the one goal on the Cummins marker. And we'll see if we can get some updates on the score sheet. But it is a 3-0 Toronto lead after one period of play. Boy, Charlie Trent under siege, especially late in the period. Flin Flon actually outshot the Patriots 12-10. But they find themselves down by a score of 3-0 after one period of play. We'll take another break. We'll come back with the opening intermission momentarily here for the North of 53 Co-op. But boy, tough one for Flin Flon here this afternoon. A lot of regrouping to do. They trail one of the top offensive teams in the nation, 3-0 after one. This is the Centennial Cup on 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
In 1927, Hudbay began and then grew with properties under exploration, development, and operation. Hudbay is proud to be a sponsor of this Flin Flon Bombers Centennial Cup broadcast. Through active participation, bursaries, and donations, Hudbay is proud to continue its 99-year history of supporting the community, its organizations, and its people. Hudbay wishes the best for the Bombers and their fans, built on the strengths of today and tomorrow. Go Bombers, go!
The North of 53 Co-op is not just a building, card lock, or food store. They're a group of people working together to help their neighbors build our community. And they're proud supporters of the Flin Flon Bombers during their Centennial Cup run. The North of 53 Co-op is built by you and for you, and offers the products and services needed by us. That's why it's not just a catchphrase, it's a fact. At the North of 53 Co-op, you're at home there.
Creighton Furniture and Appliance Center wish the Flin Flon Bombers luck in the Centennial Cup. Creighton Furniture has what you need to create the feel, function, and features you want in your home, including great prices on upright freezers, retro fridges, and furniture with the colors you've been dreaming of. So while the Bombers make a statement in the Centennial Cup, you can too by shopping at Creighton Furniture and Appliance Center on Main Street, Creighton. Go Bombers, go!
Alrighty, welcome back here to Credit Union Place. A tough start for Flin Flon here this afternoon. Keith Yeager, they find themselves down by a score of 3-0 after one period of play against this good Toronto Patriots team.
Yeah, in some ways, as a bit of a bounce as the Bombers had their chances. This easily could have been a 3-2 game. Toronto has definitely taken advantage of their opportunities. Their first goal was a beautiful goal. Their third goal was a great play by their player after it bounced into the air. And, the Bombers just seem to be a bit snake-bitten. They just, I think if they could actually just break that barrier, get that first one, that the tide might turn here a little bit, and they could actually get going, get back into the game. It's just certainly not over because they have had their chances. And you can't blame Charlie Tritt on any one of those goals. He's played well yesterday. He's playing well again today. We just need a goal to go in so we can get some momentum going and get some confidence back for these guys because they just feel like they're holding their sticks a little tight.
Little snake bit for sure. Let's take a look at the Northland Ford first period scoring summary here today. We talked about shutting down Cooksey. Well, he gets a goal. His fourth of the tournament. Bruno and the other big part of that line, Kamuris, got the assist. That came early at 5:19. Then McGuckin, just a nice job to race the net, redirects a puck past Charlie Tritt, his first from Ryan at 11:25. Then Cummins would score his first of the tournament. That's a backbreaker, though, at 19:33. Always tough to give up those goals the last minute of a period, or of any period, especially with Flin Flon coming on, getting some chances. But Cummins gets his first. Habelwaith and Morey got the assist on that one at 19:33. Flin Flon actually out shooting Toronto 12-10 after the opening period, but find themselves down by a score of 3-0 after one. And I'm not going to say I have a perfect memory, but I don't think Flin Flon ever trailed 3-0 after any period this entire year in playoffs.
I don't remember them trailing like that either. They've actually pretty much been leading in first periods throughout most of the season.
I mean, once in a while, maybe down a goal. I do not remember them being down by 3 goals. I don't think it's happened this year.
No, they kind of dominated a lot of the regular season, especially on home ice. On the road, some teams got at them a little bit. On the 6-game road trip, they probably had a time where they were down by 3 goals.
I don't think so, Keith. I think those were all maybe towards the end of the game or something. I don't know.
The one game against York, and they got beat up a little bit there.
Yeah, I think it wound up. Yeah, they got that.
That was the last one.
5-2 that wound up that game, and that was Yorkton's power play. But yeah,
I think they lost 8-4 because they were down 4-0.
Okay, so that might be the only other game that happened this year then.
Yeah,
because they were great memory.
Yeah, I just remember that Yorkton had 4 power play goals, and that was the last game of that 6-game losing streak until Mike could come out and put the team through a little bit of exercise.
So anyway, that's the story after one. Toronto leading at 3-0. Flin Flon 0 for 1 of the power play. That's a big thing for them, too. Get a goal and try to find a way to get that power play going again. I think if they can do those two things, it's going to bode well for them moving forward, not only today, but obviously throughout the tournament. We'll take a break. Opening intermission for the co-op is coming up. We're going to be joined here by Xavier Fashon, the only Flin Flon Bomber to play every single game this season. He's going to be our Creighton Pizza player profile. He'll join us next. More coming up from PEI on 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
There are many ways for you to support our local SPCA. Adoption will allow you to feel the joy from an animal and serve as their forever home. Cash donations are always accepted, as well as donations of pet food, cat litter, and cleaning supplies like bleach, paper towels, and unscented wipes. Our SPCA receives no government funding and relies entirely on the donations of our community. To find the best way to offer support, visit Flin Flon Creighton and Area SPCA on Facebook. This message brought to you by Art O'Donnell in support of the SPCA and the SJHL champion Flin Flon Bombers.
The Orland Motel is happy to support this Bomber playoff broadcast, and they also have a wish for each of you to fall in love again with your home, whether rebuilding or settled in, to enjoy your community, take time with your neighbors, and celebrate your friends. The North is a beautiful and unique way of life with deep roots and simple pleasures. So enjoy. The Orland Motel. So proud to be part of our communities.
Go, Bomber, go!
Creighton's Pizza excited about the summer and are very excited to take their tasty menu out to you. Be on the lookout for the Creighton's Pizza food truck and all their tasty menu items, including chicken souvlaki, smokies, flake broiled burgers, fries, poutine, and of course, pizza by the slice. The food truck will be showing up in random areas and all kinds of special events throughout the summer between 11 and 2. Creighton's Pizza providing quality food and service in northern Manitoba and Saskatchewan for decades, and want to wish the Flin Flon Bombers all the best at this year's Centennial Cup in Summerside, PEI.
Welcome to our first intermission here. Our special guest is Xavier Fauchon today, our Creighton Pizza player profile. Xavier, I guess first and foremost, what's it feel like to be an SJHL champion?
Oh, it feels amazing. We worked hard all year for that, so being able to raise the trophy in front of all the fans and with the whole team, it was just amazing.
You know, this team has so many wonderful things that happened this year. I mean, who can ever forget your record at the Whitney Forum? That in itself is a major accomplishment, but just able to battle through all the adversity, all the injuries, does it make it even that much more special?
Oh, for sure. Like, we had a lot of injuries, of course, during the regular season and even the playoffs. But we know the depth of our team, so we knew we could do it. And it feels just better to know that we could do it, the whole team together.
You're in a pretty interesting spot. You're the only Bomber to play in every single game this year. Did you know that?
Yeah, no, I was grateful to be able to play all the games. I saw a lot of guys battle through injuries, and I can't lie, I was injured a little bit too, but I fought through it, and I wanted to play every single game, so I'm pretty happy about it, but I don't want to jinx it for sure.
No, I definitely hear you for sure. When you came in this year, you knew the Flin Flon was going to be competitive. Was there a particular point in the year, Xavier, where you thought, you know what, I think this team is going to go all the way, I think we're good enough to win this thing?
I think it was early in the season after our 6-game losing skid. We had a big week of practice. Then when we won that game in Yorkton, and I think we won like 11-0. It was something like that. I looked at the team and I'm like, oh, I think we could go all the way. And with all the trades we did at the deadline too, just made us better. And I feel confident in the group.
You know, it's funny, and I mentioned this at the awards banquet. You know, you turn your whole season around, that 11-0 victory in Yorkton, and then you end up winning the championship there like 3.5 months later. Isn't it kind of funny how things work out?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I feel like it's kind of where it all started. So finishing there in Yorkton, winning a big game 2-0 in front of all the people that were there for us, it's just amazing.
A lot of big moments throughout the year, but let's face it, that's two of the biggest moments. Of course, the turning around the whole season, and like I said, winning the championship. I'm sure a moment that you'll never forget.
Oh, I'll never forget that for sure. You don't get used to that feeling. You just want to relieve it every time, and being able to maybe do it here would be awesome.
Here you are at the Centennial Cup, the national stage. I mean, the Bombers, a good team, but the 9 other teams are good hockey teams as well. Your thoughts on the opening game against Longueuil yesterday?
We knew it was going to be a battle, that's for sure. And I think it was. They were prepared for us. We were prepared for them too. And I think we played a great game. We had our chances. We just had to bury them. We didn't do it, but I think we're ready for today, and we're ready to score more goals, that's for sure.
I'm sure if I was to say to you yesterday that you'd hold Longueuil to 12 shots in the entire hockey game, you'd probably think that you'd win it.
Yeah, no, I think we played awesome defense, and Charlie was good too, made a couple clutch saves for us. I think if we keep playing defense like that throughout the tournament, it's going to help for sure, and if we get the first goal, I think we had a good chance to win the game.
Did you get a sense during yesterday that one goal might be enough to win it either way?
I didn't think that because we knew that the Quebec team was they're more offensive than we are maybe. So knowing that they only needed one goal for them to win the game was pretty. I don't think we would expect that.
Well, they didn't get it early enough in the game. You certainly had plenty of chances, but like you said, yesterday was yesterday. Today's today. It's going to be interesting though. Definitely a new challenge because the Toronto Patriots are a totally different team. I think it's going to be a totally different game than what we saw yesterday. A lot more wide open hockey, I'm expecting. How do you see it?
I think we have to play great defense. We know they have a good offense, so if we play the same defense we did yesterday, I think we'll have a good chance to win that game. We just have to find a way to bury a goal, maybe 1 or 2 or 3. I don't know. Maybe we only need 1 today, and if we don't give up a single goal, maybe it's going to be a 1-0 game just like yesterday, or maybe it's just going to be a lot of goals. I don't know how it's going to go, but all I know is we have to play Bomber hockey, and I think maybe we got a bit away from that a little bit yesterday, so if we can find our game today, would be awesome.
Well, the one thing about your team is you can play physical, and I think that will be a big factor no matter who you play, let alone Toronto.
Yeah, I think the goal is to scare the teams here, so I think we did a good job on that yesterday. So if we can stay physical, we got our chances.
How you enjoy the East Coast? Have you ever been out here before?
No, I've never been out here. It's amazing. We have good weather compared to Flin Flon, I guess. it's nice to be on the East Coast here. It's totally different, and I like it.
What was it like playing on the big ice surface here yesterday?
So much different than the wet. We have to get used to it. I think that's maybe what happened in the first yesterday, just getting used to a big ice surface like that. But I think it's just going to be better today.
Well, one thing, it might not be the Whitney Forum, but a lot of Bomber faithful are here. Did you get a chance to notice all those? I know you're on the ice, you're taking care of business, but you got a chance to glance at the jerseys, the hoodies, all the hats. There's still a pretty strong contingent of Bomber fans here.
Yeah, I know, it's awesome. We heard the chants, the Go Bombers Go yesterday in the stands. It's just so nice to see the support we can get, even if we're so far away from home.
And how about that Montreal Canadian victory? I'm thinking that might personally kind of give you a little bit extra energy for this game here today.
I was pumped, that's for sure. A couple of guys in the team don't like the Habs, so they just cheer for the other team they play against. So it was fun making fun of them a little bit after that game. And I was just happy that they won a game in Buffalo and pumped for Game 3.
They look pretty good. Hopefully I can inspire the Bombers to a big win here today. Xavier, great to have you on the broadcast. Good luck to you and the Bombers. Should be an entertaining game here against the Toronto Patriots here today at Credit Union Place.
Thank you, Hardy. I appreciate it.
Xavier Fashon, a Creighton Pizza Player Profile here on 102.9 CFAR. It's the Creighton Pizza Player Profile Centennial Cup Edition. 102.9 CFAR, FlinFlonOnline.com.
Arctic Beverages and Gatorade Water are proud to be part of supporting our Flin Flon Bombers in Summerside, PEI for the 2026 Centennial Cup. And whether you're in competitive hockey or you're a weekend walker, hiker, or even cyclist, hydration is key. And Gatorade Water has no sugary or salty taste, and it's infused with electrolytes. Gatorade Water and Arctic Beverages, supporting our hometown Flin Flon Bombers at the Centennial Cup. Go Bombers, go!
Northland Ford proudly supports the Flin Flon Bombers throughout the Centennial Cup. We know that the Bombers will play tough like the Ford F-150, the toughest truck on the market for over 40 years. Northland Ford helping the community cheer on the Bombers as they work to bring the Centennial Cup to the best fans in the country, and they provide you with the best selection on their lot. In the North, for the North, Northland Ford, the dealership you tell your friends about.
Arctic Beverages and Gatorade Water are proud to be part of supporting our Flin Flon Bombers in Summerside, PEI for the 2026 Centennial Cup. And whether you're in competitive hockey or you're a weekend walker, hiker, or even cyclist, hydration is key. And Gatorade Water has no sugary or salty taste, and it's infused with electrolytes. Gatorade Water and Arctic Beverages, supporting our hometown Flin Flon Bombers at the Centennial Cup. Go Bombers, go!
And we're back inside Credit Union Place here. Rob Hart, Keith Yeager. Not the start the Bombers wanted today, Keith. They're down 3 goals after one period of play, but again, the good news for them is they've got still plenty of time to try and make that up.
It's never ideal to be down 3-0 after the first period, that's for sure, but it would be a little bit different if they weren't getting any scoring chances. They did have some scoring chances. Again, we've talked about that it could be 3-2. It could even be 3-3 if a couple of pucks would have went just a little bit direction for them. But, you got to hope you're going to get one here early in the first 5 minutes to get you back in the game. Hopefully get a second before the end of the second here, and at least at the worst go into the third only down 3-2.
Well, now we're going to have another guest here at the opening intermission. Not sure if he's going to pop by or not. We'll take a look at the McDonald's out-of-town scoreboard. One game in the books here from the tournament today. The Niverville Nighthawks, a big victory as they knocked off Thunder Bay by a score of 7-2. That Niverville team now 2-0. They look pretty good. Marlon Edwards, another goal today, former member, of course, of the Northern Manitoba Blizzard, who won the MJHL Championship, represented the MJHL Centennial Cup in Calgary last year. Boy, Marlon, nice player, had 2 goals in the opening game against Summerside, the host team, and he scores again today. After this one, we're going to have Summerside looking for their first victory. They did lose in overtime, so they did get a point. They'll take on Rockland, who lost their first game. So that's going to be a real marquee matchup to wrap things up here today. Stanley Cup playoffs there, Keith. I know everybody. The building is absolutely buzzing with that Montreal Canadian victory last night.
Oh, you got to help, as you were saying the other day.
A lot of fans out here, not just me.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Like you said the other day, now that my Oilers were out, you were saying that Montreal is Canada's team.
They are.
And everybody had to cheer for my team last year trying to bring the cup back, and unfortunately they fell short the last couple of years. But right now we're going to look at the Bombers, hopefully getting their chance to bring another championship back to Flin Flon here. They got to get on the horse, get a couple of goals.
They got to get a goal and start from their Stanley Cup playoffs tonight. Carolina, Philly. Carolina a chance to close it out. And Colorado Many people picking to win the Stanley Cup. Are you one of them? They're taking on Minnesota. They're a pretty good team as well.
It's really starting to look like it's going to be a Carolina-Colorado final with both of them being undefeated.
I don't know. The way that Montreal's playing right now, I mean, a lot of people, and here's something for you, and I want you to tell people you heard this and you think it's right. Bombers last won the championship in 93. Montreal, last Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup in 93, Keith. We might see history repeating itself here.
Well, you even hear some of the announcers on Hockey Night in Canada kind of making that comparison, that the 93 Canadians to this team. Montreal's got a lot of firepower. They're a good team, and Dobish is playing well for them.
And, I mean, don't get me wrong, Carolina is really, really good, and Montreal still has to beat Buffalo. But if Montreal could knock off both Tampa Bay and Buffalo, you could beat anybody.
You certainly can. You just got to wonder how much left in the tank sometimes when you start to beat really good teams.
Well, and I just say Carolina could be on to the next round after tonight, right?
Yeah, they could be do another sweep and be getting a lot of rest.
We're underway in the second period. Toronto with 3-0 lead on Flin Flon after one. Bombers coming out hard here, throwing some hits as that puck gets sent back down the ice. Knutson will get a hold of it. The goal bomber goal chance is going here. Larry Festkin leading that. Here's Sam Ward. Out of the blue line. Gets it ahead. That one got knocked away. Intercepted here by Morey, who has an assist in the game for Toronto. He got it in deep. Knocked away, though. Flin Flon's got three guys on it at center ice. Led here down the wing. Ryder Muka offside. Looked pretty good there. A nice play. You had Miller, Muka, and Seitz all streaming down the ice there. Boy, it looked like a good chance, but unfortunately offside there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's offside, but, I mean, you got to go with the professional who's on the ice when those calls go by, but it looked pretty good to me.
Yeah, Muka looked pretty surprised when they blew the whistle. Face off outside the Toronto blue line. Puck will come back here to Trazo. Knocked away quickly by Mounier. Flin Flon will flip it back across the Toronto line. Trazo is there. Ends up passing that puck over to Bruno, who has an assist in the game. The big line for Toronto is out there for Sean. He'll get a hold of it. He'll drill it right back in there. Grabbed here by Vatch, the Toronto D-man. Quickly gets rid of it as he spins it around the boards to Trazo. Bruno has it. Drop that one back to Vatcha. He'll grab it at center. Sends it inside the Flin Flon zone. Bouncing puck. Save made here by the Bomber netminder, Charlie Trent. Puck comes the Bomber blue line and knocked down and held in that time. Chance here for Bruno. Gets a big body check here by Alexander. There's the puck turnover. Nice hit there by Alexander. He'll dump that puck in. He drilled Bruno. He didn't know what day it was. They asked him how many fingers. He said Tuesday when he got up.
Spun him around in a complete circle.
Did he ever? Here's Joey Lees. Feeds it back to center ice. Looking for Wyatt Stitton. That's broken up. Puck will go back across the Bomber blue line. Lees is in there to get it. Around the boards looking for Yakubchuk. There's Morozov. Will he be the guy to finally break through and get the Bombers the first goal of the tournament? He certainly had a good number of chances in both these games here. Flin Flon dumped it in. Morozov with the steal. Nice play. Pow! He had a guy open out front, but a good job that time by Palermo, the D-man, to knock it away. Morozov gets it back. Yakubchuk through traffic. Knocked down in front that time and sent outside the zone by Bonavoda. Bonavoda. He'll spring the forward, Lawton down the ice. He lost the handle. Here's Ulmer for Flin Flon. Great move at his blue line. Try to feed that one back to Lees off the tip of his stick. It'll roll in. And we'll bring on our special guest a little bit late here, but we'll bring him in anyway since it's him. We're going to let Keith give the headset over to a very special guest who has made his way here. Everybody says that Flin Flon's the home of Bobby Clark. I'd like to say more like the home of Johnny Dougal. Johnny, how's it going today?
Good.
You're a little bit late. I was expecting you. Just hang on a second here, John. I was expecting you a little bit earlier. What were you doing out there? Hugging kissing babies, hugging people? What were you doing?
No, right now, I just met Reagan. And now...
You went down there to give him a few tips in between after the period? Okay, hang on. We'll do some play-by-play and get back to you momentarily. Johnny Dougal's jumped in the broadcast booth here. Here's the steal outside the Toronto blue line. Grabbed here by Maverick Delisle. He'll try to throw that one back out front. Ulmer had a chance to feed it back out front as well. Bruno has it. He'll drop that one back to center. And that's picked up here by Cooksey. Throws it. Ooh, he had a guy open out front just off the tip of his stick. Flin Flon will get it back. Chance to center ice. Delisle can't grab it. Puck grabbed instead here. Set back inside the Flin Flon zone by Ryan. 3-0 Toronto leads it, just underway in the second period. Jack Martin at center. That one got knocked down. He tried to throw it back up front. We got another penalty coming up against Toronto. So, Johnny, maybe tell people what you've been up to. Of course, former Flin Flon. Tell people where you living now.
Quick, time 6, quick.
How far? Do you know how far of a drive that is from there to get to the rink here today, or to get to Summerside?
We leave on Friday morning.
Okay, and you've been here the last couple of days.
Yep.
You're probably pretty disappointed with the game. So, what does Flin Flon have to do to turn things around for them here at the tournament, Johnny?
So, right now, go for Steamroll. And, well, Steamroll go on, and the park has to Simcock, hold, pass forward, we'll go in there, 1-1.
We'll see what happens. They're on the power play right now. They're 0 for 1 today, still looking for their first goal and first power play goal of the tournament. Morozov trying to throw that one in deep. That got intercepted. And the puck is picked up here by Vacha. Flin Flon didn't have a single shot in their last power play. Vacha ducks back inside his own zone. He'll dump it back up the ice. Took a funny hop of Fashawn. He'll knock it down. 16:25 to go in the second period. 1:33 to go in the Flin Flon power play. They need a goal. 3-0 Toronto leads it. Here's the pass to Fashawn. Morozov down the wing. Morozov back out front. He had two guys there. Neither one got the pass. Stitt will get it in the corner. Back of the goal it goes to Muka. This is Morozov. Back of the net. Morozov down on a knee. There's a chance in front. Muka, and it goes off a stick wide. Good chance there. Good power play for Flin Flon. A lot better than last time. They're getting some offensive zone time here. Racing after it is Ryder Muka. Puck is picked up. Set the blue line. Fashawn got a piece of it. And it came to Collins. And he'll rip it down the ice. Any relation to you?
Yes, I'm too, yeah. Come back. Have a puck. Going out 1-1.
All right.
No.
15:40 to go here in the second period. 48 seconds remaining in the Bomber power play. Here's Knudsen. He'll swing that pass up the right side. That's too far. That's going to be an icing call, I think. No, Flin Flon got a break there. Puck running around the boards. Arbery will hold it in. Puck grabbed here by Miller. He got hit hard, but Flin Flon will hold it in. Racing after Rhett Ewan back. It rims it around the boards again. Scooped up this time and flipped outside the zone by Havelwaite. 22 seconds remaining in the Flin Flon power play. Again, just underway in the second period. Toronto in front 3-0. Flin Flon's second power play of the game. Toronto yet to get a power play chance. And the Bombers offside as they cross the Toronto blue line. Johnny, anybody want to say hello to back at Flin Flon before we let you go and let Keith jump back in here today?
Oh, yeah. I say hi to Wanda and Glenn McKinnon. And I say one more, say hi out for my parents. And Farmer will take 3-1 in a minute of second.
Okay.
And McWicken, control your players, or I will.
Okay, sounds good, Johnny. Thanks for stopping by. It's always good to see you. Johnny Dougal, one of Flin Flon's most famous citizens in here, hoping the Bombers can rally this afternoon and get back in this hockey game. They're down by a score of 3-0. And unfortunately, we're not able to power play just expiring here. But here's Seitz as he crosses across the line. Ulmer got in there tight. He fell down. Puck picked up in the corner. Fashawn the blue line. There's a long shot. Gloved and held onto this time by Caraclio. They'll make the save and hang on. Johnny Dougal in the house, and he's predicting a Bomber comeback today there, Keith Yeager.
Oh, I like the positivity. We certainly have had our chances here again here in the second, but they just can't seem to get it over that red line. Something's got to break. Something's got to break here soon.
Well, at least they had some offensive zone time in that power play. They didn't have any on the last power play that they had.
No, they had a couple of chances there. The wraparound, I can't remember which player it was, but
they hit a stick.
But they did get a great chance there, and the pass across the front of the crease. They had two guys open and just couldn't quite connect.
We'll see what happens here. Toronto's got the puck at 2-on-1. This is the big line again. Chance out front, but falling down the play that time was Cooksey. Cooksey sends it back out front, and Karmaris blows the tire, goes down hard. Puck sent back down in the Toronto zone. Scooped up here by Howard. Howard's got some room at center. Made a good move there to cross the Bomber line. Howard throws it back out front. There's a chance, and they score again. Redirected out front, and a quick shot that time by Havelwaite, and redirected out front, and I believe it's Bruno with the redirection. That'll be his first in the tournament and second point of the day. And again, every bounce that Toronto's needed they get. The shot from the blue line ends up hitting Bruno, one of their top scorers out front. Toronto has now taken a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, we're going to see a goalie change here coming for the Bombers. Not any fault by Charlie Tritt, that's for sure, but we're going to see Finn Werner get a little action.
I'm trying to think the last time Finn Werner suited up was the series clinching win against the Estevan Bruins way back in the opening round last time you saw action.
Yes, it was, yeah.
So you're right, there is a goaltending change. A tough one for Charlie Tritt today, not a lot of assistance, and you notice Mike Reagan right away go over there and talk to his goaltender and say, this isn't on you.
Well, yeah, for sure. It definitely wasn't on Charlie. That's definitely for sure.
We'll see if the goaltending change can spark Flin Flon. Like we said, a lot of time left, 14 minutes in the second period. But a big goal for Toronto nonetheless, as their big line has come out to play here today. We talked about stopping them, and so far Flin Flon has not had an answer. As they've been very, very good. They have a 2-on-1 again. Down the right side, another opportunity that'll go off the leg over top. And had a good rush that time, led by McGuckin, who has a goal here today. Flin Flon can't get outside their own zone. Bruce will throw that one back to center ice. Brett Ewan has had some looks today. We'll redirect that puck inside the Toronto zone. Racing off the bench is Morozov. They're going to give the goal, actually, to... they're not going to give the goal to Bruno. I thought he redirected it. Carmuris is going to get it. So it's another part of that big line. I think they might have got that wrong. Bruno was the one that redirected. He was the one that celebrated. But anyway, Carmuris, at least for the time being. And it's a 4-0 Toronto lead. There's a chance in front. Wide open. A backhander. Good save by Finn Werner. Greeted with a chance right off the hop here. Collins got in free. Loon holds it in at the blue line. Another chance. Hits the leg in front of the Bomber net. Good touch here by Morozov. Beats the pass to Lees. Lees back out front. Oh, Morozov got him behind the D, but he couldn't find the handle. Back of the goal. Here's a chance in front. Cracklio got his stick on it. Lees can't shoot it. And Toronto will back the puck back to center. Picked up and flipped back inside the Flin Flon zone by Lowen. Arbery in there, try to knock it free. Mounier back of the net. Rimmed out around the boards here for Ulmer. Ulmer feeds that one back here to Arbery. Arbery will go for a change. The puck will make its way back down inside the Toronto zone. Puck scooped up here by Palermo. Lost it out front. The Toronto, one of the rare mistakes they've made, a throwaway in front of their own net, but the Bombers can't take advantage. Ward has it at the blue line. Ward tried to jump on it. Knocked away from him. Two Toronto skaters the other way, led by Cummins. Cummins with Hathaway. Hathaway takes the drop pass. Oh, it's a vicious body check there by Martin. Nice hard check there. That might be the best hit of the day. Flin Flon looking for any type of motivation they can try to get back in the game. 4-0 Toronto leads at 11:47 to go in the second period. Toronto has the puck back to the Flin Flon net to try to kick it out front. Knocked away. Good defensive play again by Bruce. Knocks his guy to the ice. Puck goes inside the Flin Flon zone. Big hit there. Ward runs into Carmaris back in it. The puck will come out front. And Finn Werner will jump on that and hang on. 11:25 to go. The shot's dead even at 14 apiece. But another goal by Toronto here has put Flin Flon behind even further. Keith Yeager 4-0.
Yeah, you can see Knutsen's just trying to get the team riled up here a little bit. He's going after a couple of the Toronto players after the whistle here, talking to their bench, just trying to find a spark for our team.
11:25 to go. Still plenty of time. The Bomber fans looking for something to cheer about here today. They've gathered at a pretty good number once again.
Well, and Toronto scored 4 in the first half. Why there's no reason why we can't score 4 in the second half?
Just starts with 1 here. Off the face-off. This is Vacha. Through traffic. Goes wide. There's Yakubchuk after it. Toronto holds it in. Now it comes out. Ryder Mucus had some chances in both games here. We'll get a hold of it and throw it back inside the Toronto zone. Vacha there. Oh, he blows a tire. Goes down hard in the corner. Maybe a chance here for the Bombers to capitalize, but Yakubchuk can't hold the line. The puck will go back in the Flin Flon zone. Bruce races back. Zeroes in on his guy and wins that puck battle. There's a nice little victory here for Flin Flon. The small victories, but Toronto does get the puck back. But now Miller has it. Connor Miller for Flin Flon to center. Miller. He'll flip that puck in deep. Ryder Muka races after it. Big check back on it as he steamrolls Ryan to the ice. Toronto back the other way, though. They'll send the pass out front. Penalty coming up against the Bombers. As Carmaris is set to the ice, he got tangled up here with Wyatt Stinton. Now we're going to see the Toronto power play for the first time here today, Keith Yeager.
Yes, this is a dangerous power play too. So it's already into a tough spot, but you really got to find a way to kill this penalty off here now. Wyatt's not very happy with that hooking call, but not much you can do sometimes. The ref's going to make a call. You've got to kill this penalty. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we'll get lucky here and find a short-handed goal and change the momentum of the game.
I think they would definitely take it for sure. So
But a big kill either way.
So a great opportunity here to really bust it open. And a great chance for Flin Flon to try and get some momentum back here today. Toronto wins the draw. Knocked down in front, though. Alexander can't clear. Puck hit a stick. Alexander after it again. Knocked down. Puck out front. They got a guy wide open in front of the net here. That's Diaclone. He can't get it. Finn Werner, nice job to track the puck. He'll make the save and hang on. By the way, the official on the Fort Toronto goal, Karmaris, has got his first of the tournament. Cooksey and Howard the assist. That came early at the 5:47 mark. And a great chance here for Toronto. They're on the power play for the first time today. What did you say their power play percentage is? 35%?
35% in the playoffs, yep. 34.9, 33, a little over 33% in the regular season.
Diaclone will take the face-off for Toronto. Looks like they're going to move Miller into the face-off circle. Now Diaclone doesn't like that matchup. He leaves, and we're going to see Collins go in there and take the draw. Off the draw, puck in front, and just fired wide that time by Diaclone. That close to being 5-0 here today. Puck is held up along the boards. Toronto works it to the blue line. Back out front, there's the one-timer that time by Havelwaite, and that got blocked. Havelwaite back to the Flin Flon net. They'll center it to the blue line. Puck grabbed here by Howard. Havelwaite back to Howard. Lots of traffic. He tried to go backdoor that time. Skipped up over the stick that time of Morey. Morey back to that puck stripped away. Flin Flon, can they get it out? Yes, they can. So 1:06 to go in the power play. 9.5 minutes remaining here in this second period. And Flin Flon still looking for their first goal of the tournament. They trail this one 4-0. Toronto at their blue line. This is Howard. Drops the pass back. Scooped up here by Bruno. He'll bring it in. Leaves at the blue line for Vacha. Back out front. One-timer. A good save that time by Werner. Actually, I think it hit Bruce. I don't think he even made it through the front of the net. Bruce blocks a lot of shots, like we mentioned.
Yeah, block shot leader in the SJHL in the playoffs.
Yes, he was, and that one is blocked and set down the ice that time by Reed Arbery. 30 seconds remaining in the Toronto power play. So a good penalty kill here by Flin Flon. Bruno swings the pass quickly up the ice. That's grabbed here by Cooksey. Cooksey will bring it in back then. He's got to go back up front. Oh, good save, Werner. Puck is loose. Picked up and set down the ice. How about that stop from Finn Werner?
Finn's been tested here early, and like I said at the beginning of the game, I really like the way every single game he does his full routine in case he's ever needed, and tonight he's needed.
It's interesting you're talking about that before the game, because here he is making his first appearance in the tournament. The first appearance in a while. Stinton's under the box, so Flin Flon kills the power play. Toronto 0 for 1. The Bombers got the puck at center. Yakubchuk. He'll carry it down the ice. And it must be offside again. Blown down with 8:18. We got a media timeout coming up. We'll catch our breaths and come back with more from the second period. Toronto's added to their totals, a 4-0 lead. That's the story right now here on 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
This broadcast is brought to you by Eldorado Gold Saskatchewan, formerly Foran Mining, now part of an even stronger Canadian headquartered mining company, expanding its presence at home. We're proud to continue advancing the McIlvania Bay project, less than an hour from Flin Flon and Creighton. McIlvania Bay is Saskatchewan's first copper mine in over 30 years and a federally recognized project of national significance. As we move towards production, we're building momentum and growing our team. As we near production, we're also investing in exploration to help bring Northeast Saskatchewan's next mining district to life. And we need your help. Apply today at foranmining.com/careers and go Bombers.
Frontline Sport and Leisure are proud supporters of the Flin Flon Bombers, wishing them the best in the Centennial Cup. Frontline has the parts you're looking for to tackle our northern terrain, from quads to side-by-sides, and whatever you need to find the perfect off-road vehicle. Visit them in person on Coronation Drive in Creighton or call 688-3333 to find your next ATV and Ranger, or cruise around the lake in style with a new boat and motor. Your future is riding on this at Frontline Sport and Leisure.
8:18 to go in the second period. Face off outside the Toronto blue line. The Patriots up with the Bombers 4-0 here today. Cooksey, McGuckin, Cummins, and Carmaris, the goal scorers today. Flin Flon still waiting for their first goal. Toronto, of course, built up that 3-0 lead after one. We're talking about this year how many times Flin Flon's had to battle from a multi-goal deficit. One thing I do know, the Bombers trailed after one period of play 5 entire times in the regular season. That's it.
Wow. One of those times was probably against Humboldt that weekend, where they had 2 amazing games and comeback wins in both of those. So hopefully we're going to see another one of those this afternoon.
4-0 Toronto in front. 8:05 to go in the second period. Ryan, the Toronto D-man, scoops it up to center. That's grabbed here and fired back at the Toronto zone here by Mounier. Flin Flon not really testing the Toronto netminer so far in the second period. There's a chance now for the Patriots. Puck is dug free along the boards. Up the ice they come. That's Ryan. Back out front, and they score yet again. 5-0. Ryan dropped it right back out front. And I believe that McGuckin might have his second of the game. He does. Ryan up the left side. Everybody thought he was going to hang on to the puck. Throws it right back out front there. That was a nifty little move he made, and he fooled everybody, including the Bomber netminder, Finn Werner.
Yes, you can see Toronto, they're almost cheating every single time they get the puck behind their own net. And it paid off again right there. They got a 2-on-1 and a great pass and a great shot. Unfortunately, Finn Werner wasn't able to make the save. They're down 5.
He fooled everybody.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a tremendous offensive skill. He had me fooled. He went right up the left side. All of a sudden, Dipsy Doodle pass out front. There's McGuckin, and it's 5-0.
Yes, unfortunately, 5-0 is not where we want to be. Hopefully, we're going to be chipping away at that lead.
So this Toronto team has come as advertised here, Keith. They're tremendously offensively skilled, and they get a lot of good looks, and they vary when they get chances.
Yeah, well, they've had a lot of good looks, too, and you can see that their breakouts give them those opportunities for the good looks.
Puck bouncing at center ice. Flin Flon trying to get back in this game. It's now a 5-0 deficit. Toronto will keep the puck at the Bomber blue line. So McGuckin will get the goal, his second of the tournament. There's a puck fired to the glove. The save made by Finn Werner. Looks like Ryan, the lone assist on that one. At the 12-11 mark. And a 5-0 Toronto lead. I don't know how many people saw this coming today. It's interesting. You take a look at the start for Flin Flon tonight. If one of those pucks goes in early, probably a whole different feel here today.
It's just the same thing as yesterday. The Bombers were the second highest scoring team in the SJHL this year. And they just cannot find a way to get a bounce, something good to happen for them.
5-0 Toronto in front. McGuckin's got his second. 7:12 to go in the second period. Face off in the Flin Flon zone. Finn Werner now in relief here today. Charlie Trent didn't have a lot of support. He left the game after giving up 4 goals. Shots are now 18-14 in favor of Toronto. So Flin Flon just 2 shots here so far in the second period.
Including having a power play.
Yes, here's Yakimchuk. He'll dump that one in deep. Wyatt Stitt will try to chase it down, and puck is in deep. Big hit there. Alexander knocks his guy to the ice. Puck comes loose. Picked up by Ward. A chance into the glove. There's a shot. Easily handled by Caraglio. He'll glove that and make the save with 6:46 to go. And like we said, a good chunk of time on the clock, but Flin Flon, definitely different territory for them. I guarantee you they were never down by 5 goals in a game this year.
No, not that I remember either. And if they're going to get some shots in the point like that, they got to hope to get some traffic in front, because almost every goalie out there is going to make that save, especially any goalie at this level.
Yeah, you got to try to find a way to get to the net and get in tight and get some chances. We'll see what happens here for the remainder of the game here today. Of course, Flin Flon, 2 still big games to go after this one. They want to try and make that playoff round. Patriots have the puck. That's hammered on target. There's a good save that time by Werner. Rebound picked up here by Lees. Back to Morozov at center. Morozov beats his guy, throws it out front, gets a stick. Grabbed here by Gaiaclone, and he's got a good open ice to work with as he gets it in deep. That one's swatted away at the last second. Knutson back to the Flin Flon net. He's got it as well. Here's Ryder Knutson. Plays it ahead to Arbery. Couldn't get it free. Good job that time by the Patriots. Bruno, part of that top line to keep the puck in. Now Flin Flon will lift it out. This will force Schmidt back on his side of center. Back to Bruno at center. Backhand pass intercepted here by Ward. Tripped up. The puck will roll back inside the Toronto zone. Schmidt there to get it with Lees watching him. Schmidt feeds that one over to Palermo. Palermo banks that puck up the boards for Bruno. Too far. Goes inside the Flin Flon zone. There's Ward. Plays it back here to Knudsen. Maverick Delisle at center. Feeds it back to Ulmer. Ulmer down the wing across the Toronto line. Ulmer will bring it in. Tied up along the boards. They try to come back out front. Shot got blocked. Toronto can't clear though. Good shot by Mounier as he rips it towards the front of the net wide. Grabbed here by Maverick Delisle. Delisle back of the net. Here's Maverick Delisle. Back of the goal for Ulmer. Pitch again from the point is Mounier. Mounier. Back of the net. Flin Flon might have got away with one there as the Toronto player got tripped up. I think it's not a 5-0 game. They probably make that call. Anyway, play blown down with 5:03 to go. Flin Flon getting away with one there, Keith, I think, on that trip.
Yeah, Mounier got tied up with him, and you can see the Toronto player go down. And in my opinion, also a quick whistle once he went down. The player fell on the puck. They've been usually letting them battle it out a lot, and that one they blew it down real quick.
So 5:03 remaining here in the second period. Toronto once again in front by a score of 5-0. It was 3-0 after one. And they've added to their totals here, taking advantage of a couple of opportunities in the second period. Face off in the Toronto zone, the left of the goaltender, Caraglio. And he has not been tested in this second period.
No, the Bombers really haven't had the pressure. Every time they get the puck in deep, Toronto's been able to turn it out.
There's a chance off the face-off. That one almost fooled him. Low shot, but he'll get the paddle to stick down and make the save and keep the puck out. Exactly 5 minutes remaining.
This has been the best line for the Bombers, though, in the past 2 nights, so hopefully they're going to get a good chance here.
We'll see what happens. They got the right face-off guy out there. Miller taking the draw here against Ryan. Miller will get waved out.
I've never seen so many people get waved out.
That's a big thing in hockey. Even watch the NHL games are still... I don't know what why it's being done this way, but even from the NHL level, I've noticed a lot of guys getting waved out of these face-off circles. Patriots back on the attack as they'll get the puck inside the Flin Flon zone. There's a chance the blue line fired on target that time by Howard, and a good save by Finn Werner. And you mentioned it. He's been tested since he's come into this game here today.
Yes, he definitely. And the one shot he didn't get a save on, really didn't have much of a chance on the 2-on-1. But as I said earlier, I love the way every single game he prepares. Even when he knows he's going to be the backup, he gets ready like he's going to have to start, and it shows you why, because you never know when you're going to have to come in relief.
Face off back inside the Flin Flon zone. Yakubchuk has got it back of the net. Flin Flon will try to move it up the ice. Just got confirmation. Kyle McIntyre, the SJHL president, will join us here in the second intermission today. See what he has to say about the game that's transpired in front of him as well. Here comes Luke Howard. Inside the Flin Flon zone, throws it out front, back door, just missing the pass that time was McGucket looking for the hat-trick here. McGucket after it again. This Toronto team opportunistic, kind of like great white sharks in the water. They have that loose puck around that net, and everybody wants to jump in there and try and grab it. Flin Flon has the puck. Flin Flon's broken out of their own zone, I thought, pretty good here today. Here's the pass for Alexander. That's poked away from him. Puck laying at the Toronto blue line, and that's dug free this time by Cummins. Back inside the Flin Flon zone. Cummins takes the drop pass. Cummins in front of that. Cummins, can he finish it up? Puck bounces, gets a couple chances, and Werner stopped him. The puck comes back out front. It's in the crease. Knocked away by Alexander. He'll play it off the boards. Held in here by Havelwaite. Feeds it back to Terrazzo. He rips it around the boards. Back of the Bomber net. 3.5 minutes remaining in the period. Puck comes out front. Grabbed here by Ewan. Feeds it ahead to Alexander. Alexander at center. He'll get it. He'll flip it back inside the Toronto zone. Ewan racing for the puck back to the net. A couple of Patriots on top of him. They dig it free. Trozzo the D-man. There's Trozzo. Up the boards. Hits a skate. Rolls back in the Flin Flon zone. This is Pashon. Feeds it back to Mounier. A couple of Bombers running into each other as the puck is then set in for an ice. A little disarray there. Flin Flon kind of an element they're not used to. Down multiple goals. Again, a 5-0 Toronto lead with 3:08 to go here, Keith. And I think everybody knew that Toronto would be tough, but I don't know if anybody anticipated this.
I didn't expect them to be quite so good defensively. This second period, they have really shut the Bombers down. The first period, the Bombers had some chances, but in this second period, they've just not been able to get anything of great quality.
3:08 to go in the period. Face off back in the Flin Flon zone. Puck comes right back the blue line. That's fired away that time by Palermo, but blocked here. Flin Flon on the attack. Morozov quickly down the ice across the Toronto blue line. Morozov trying to throw that back up on Arbery. A nice body check, but the puck will come out anyway. Bashan forced back to his blue line. Here's Arbery trying to redirect that one. Got it back. Tried to play ahead to Lees. It got blocked. Puck picked up here by Mounier. He'll move it ahead. Morozov can't pick up the pass. It rolls inside the Toronto zone. Grabbed here by Palermo, the D-man. Palermo will move it to center ice for Toronto. His pass picked up and sent back inside Flin Flon territory by Collins. There's Mounier. Back up the boards for Arbery. Arbery will slide it back to center ice. That's grabbed here by Ward. Sent back inside the Toronto zone. Schmidt there to get it back to the Toronto net with Ulmer on top of him. Gets rid of it. Puck played up the boards. Center ice knocked away by Ward. They'll flip it back in the Toronto zone. That's grabbed here by Schmidt. Loses it out. Puck Ulmer, a chance, and he ripped it on target to steal off Ulmer's stick. And Flin Flon with an opportunity. And a great save there by Caraglio. By far his toughest stop here at this period. A great steal there by Ryan Ulmer. He's had a nice game here today.
He has. He's been definitely noticeable. He's had the Bombers' best chances.
Ulmer in there again. Throws it out front. Nobody home. And the Patriots will clear it to center. Flin Flon that close. Even if they don't come back and win the game today, Keith, just to get a goal or two, just to kind of get a little bit of momentum.
Yes, they got to get that monkey off their back and just start feeling like things can go their way. They are an offensive team right from their top line to their fourth line. Every line can score, and that's what they talked about. All the players when we've been interviewing them over the last few days is that's the reason that they were able to win the championship was the depth on their fourth lines, and they just can't seem to get one. But here we got the top line again or the best line so far in the tournament here back out on the ice.
1:36 to go, second period. Face off deep in the Toronto zone. The left of the Toronto netminder here, Caraglio. Flin Flon. There it is! Sam Moore throws it out front, and guess what? Connor Miller is the one that redirects the puck, and look at the ovation here from the Bomber crowd. They're down 5-1, but what a great, actually, Ryder Bucha's going to get credit for it. Boy, the fans are you're cheering for Flin Flon too, are you? You're cheering for the Bombers as well? You even have the Summerside fans right in front of us here. They want to see the Bombers do well. Ryder Bucha gets the goal. I thought it was Miller, but it's going to be Bucha's goal. I don't think they cared who scored it. Flin Flon's on the board. Their first goal here, Keith Yeager, at the Centennial Cup.
Well, like I said, this has been their best line so far of the tournament. They come out, they win a draw again from Connor Miller, and get on the board with the local boy, Ryder Bucha.
I thought Miller put it home, but it looks like it's going to be Bucha's goal. We'll wait for the announcement here, but Flin Flon's on the board. You tell me any other hockey game where you're down 5-1, you get the ovation like that.
It was almost a standing ovation, but these Bombers,
the overtime winner.
These Bomber fans have been just dying for a goal, and if they can score one more before the end of the period here in the last minute and a half, this might be an interesting game still.
They get the puck in deep, but Toronto will knock it away. Here they come back up the ice, led here by Cooksey. Cooksey dropped it back to Bruno, back out front. There's a chance. Camaris, backdoor, great save. Finward, a rebound. They shovel it home, though. Cooksey scores again.
Oh,
that
Bruno.
was a tremendous pass there. Are you sure about that?
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. It is Bruno. 13, not 12. So he jumps on the rebound. That was a tremendous save there by Finwarner. The rebound came right back out front. And Bruno will get another big goal here. That top line, they're doing everything they can. They've been involved in most of the goals here today.
Yeah, that top line is something else. You can see why in the first game how many points they put up, and they're doing it here again tonight. They just break out of their own end so well. They give themselves opportunity for 3-on-2s, and right there they got another great cross-ice pass for a chance to score, and Finn Murner made a great save, but the rebound was there, and they managed to put it home.
Cooksey will no doubt get an assist on that one. He left the charge up the ice. We're just a minute remaining in the second period. And it is a 5 or 6-1 lead now for Toronto. The puck will come back in the Flin Flon zone. That's grabbed here by Yakimchuk. Flin put a little bit of life there on the goal by Ryder Bucha, but unfortunately, as we get the announcement on the Bomber goal, Sam Ward and Miller, the assist, by the way, on the Bucha goal. Morozov will dump that one back in deep here for Arbery. He races it for it back in the Toronto net. There's a chance there out front for Morozov. 28 seconds remaining in the period. Arbery after it again. Another big body check on Batcha back of the goal. Cummins will pick it up. Gets it back to center. McGuckin 2 today. Throws it back out front, but Mounier there to interfere, and he'll knock it to the corner. Turns it over in front. Ryan a chance! And he almost sneaks that one in. The puck does drop behind Werner. It's another goal. 7-1. It looked like Werner had it closed in his arm there. And Cummins will score. 7-1 Toronto. Boy, things looked like they were turning around here for Flin Flon on the Ryder Muka goal, but you can't ease up whatsoever. Cummins gets another chance. He scores a 7-1 lead with 9 seconds to play in the second period.
Yeah, a minute and a half left. They had a chance. They were down 5-1. You thought if they could get one there, they'd go into the third period 5-2, and they give up 2 late goals here again. And they're going to have a heck of a third period if we're going to find a way to make it interesting.
That's Cummins' second of the day. They're just announcing the goal by Bruno now. Cooksey gets the 1 goal. We talked about him, of course, leading it up the ice, and Karmaris will get an assist as well. So that big line striking there on the 6th Toronto goal. We'll get the official of the 7th Toronto goal. We'll get ready for the second intermission for the co-op, and of course talk to the SJHL president, Kyle McIntyre, get his take on what he's seen so far here today. But a pretty dejected Flin Flon Bomber locker room. They're down by a score of 7-1 after 40 minutes of play. It looked good. Muka got them back on the board, but a couple of quick goals by Bruno and Cummins has made the deficit 6 goals now after 2. Tough to come back on anybody, let alone one of the best offensive teams in the country. We'll take a break. Second intermission show for the co-op straight ahead here. 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
Twin Motors knows the Bombers will make us proud during the Centennial Cup. At Twin Motors, customer satisfaction is their top priority because Twin Motors takes the time to learn what you want and offers advice that reflects that understanding. Experience the best Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram service you've ever had in a no-hassle atmosphere. Stop by and you'll see the difference good service can make. Visit Twin Motors today and go Bombers go!
Bailey Homes are proud supporters of the Flin Flon Bombers on their journey to the Centennial Cup. With 15 years experience in the North, specializing in RTM homes and foundations, they're so thankful to Flin Flon and surrounding areas for supporting them all these years. Bailey Homes is always happy to chat with a potential customer to show what they can do for our community. Your trusted builder in the North? Visit bailey-homes.ca. Go Bombers, go!
Insurance matters, and so does where you get it. And Flin Flon Insurance, proudly serving Manitoba and Saskatchewan, will help you select the perfect policy, not only for your home and vehicle, but for your business, travel, and health needs. And as a locally owned insurance option, Flin Flon Insurance is so very proud to be part of this Centennial Cup Bomber broadcast. They congratulate the Bombers on being at the Centennial Cup and wish them the best of luck.
And welcome back here to Credit Union Place. It is a 7-1 lead here for the Toronto Patriots. We'll take a look at the second period scoring summary here for Northland Ford. 3-0 Toronto after 1. Karamas, part of that big trio here, gets his first in tournament as the assist would be handed out to, of course, his line mates here today in Karmaris and Bruno. So it was 4-0 Toronto early in the second. McGuckin comes back his second today from Ryan to make it 5-0 at 12-11. Oh, by the way, the Karmaris goal was the one that chased Charlie Tritt from the game. He left after surrendering 4 goals today. McGuckin comes in to score to greet Finn Werner with his first, second of the day, but the first one to beat Finn Werner. Ryan the assist at 12-11. 5-0, Flin Flon, a little bit of a gleam of hope that they get on the board finally here in the tournament. Hometown product Ryder Muka able to jam in a puck for the blue line. Sam Ward fired towards the front of the net. Muka redirected it for his first at 18:29. Connor Miller a second assist, but look out, 2 late period goals here by Bruno. He scores his second of the tournament. Kooks and Kamaris once again the assists on that. Then Cummins, with just 47 seconds left alone out front, was able to shovel it just underneath the right arm of the Bomber netminder Finn Werner for a 7-1 lead. Shots in the period, 16-6 Toronto. Toronto a 2-period total of 26. The Bombers a 2-period total of 16. And we got the power plays. Neither team able to muster a power play goal last year. It hasn't been a lot of penalties in the game, actually. Toronto 0 for 1, Flin Flon 0 for 2. One more quick break, and the SJHL president, Kyle McIntyre, looking all dapper here today, will join us momentarily on 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
Chicken Chef are big supporters of the Flin Flon Bombers, even going as far as feeding the team. This means they understand what it takes to feed hungry guests. So let Chicken Chef take feeding everyone off your to-do list for those long overdue reunions, important sports team wind-ups, and even your wedding. Chicken Chef supporting the Flin Flon Bombers at the Centennial Cup. Good luck, Bombers, from Chicken Chef.
Creighton Furniture and Appliance Center wish the Flin Flon Bombers luck in the Centennial Cup. Creighton Furniture has what you need to create the feel, function, and features you want in your home, including great prices on upright freezers, retro fridges, and furniture with the colors you've been dreaming of. So while the Bombers make a statement in the Centennial Cup, you can too by shopping at Creighton Furniture and Appliance Center on Main Street, Creighton. Go, Bombers, go!
It's spring at Shane's, and that means they're here to help you enjoy the warmer season. Shop Blackstone griddles for those outdoor cookouts, or cooling options when it's a little too warm outside. Find Segway ride-on toys while supplies last so your kids can explore the great outdoors, or pick up some books or games for those nights of indoor rainy fun. No matter the weather, Shane's brings you spring. Located in the Utica Mall in the Paw, Shane's, cheering on our Bombers to go all the way in the Centennial Cup.
And welcome back here to Credit Union Place. As promised, the SJHL Commissioner, Kyle McIntyre, will join us, Kyle. And I think everybody knew that obviously Toronto was a good team and football would have a tough time today, but I didn't anticipate a 7-1 score after 2 periods of play.
Well, I certainly didn't either, Rob. I mean, nobody had this on their bingo card, but the top line of Karmaris and Cooksey and Bruno, like, they are super dynamic. Like, people need to be in the building to see how quickly they transition, how quickly they move the puck, and the hockey IQ that the 3 players possess. Like, this would clearly be one of the top lines that I've seen in 6 Centennial Cups.
Well, just to give you an idea how good they are, and you're probably aware of this, in their 16 playoffs, I mean, they were 12-4 to win the championship. Those 3 guys combined for over 80 points in the playoffs. That's amazing.
Well, I don't find that hard to believe watching them. They're certainly very skilled, very dynamic. And the entire team, like, when I looked at the draw, Rob, I mean, obviously, every year we come to the Centennial Cup. We've been in the finals the last 3 years. Yep. We've been silver medalists. And so when I look at my experience as commissioner in the Centennial Cup, Ontario is always a tough out. They're usually a good league. They're competitive with us. Manitoba and Alberta are also very competitive with us. I mean, the surprise for everybody yesterday was the strength of College of La Francois. And, I mean, they certainly were young and dynamic and big, and they played heavy. And had the Bombers cracked the goose egg early in that game, it would have been a different game, because I didn't think the way Quebec was playing was sustainable. Same thing with today, you know, like the Bombers came out in the first period. They were playing hard. They were playing fast. They were playing with pace. They were being aggressive. But part of me, if I put myself back in the skates of the Bomber players, like, they're pushing hard. They hadn't scored in 4 or 5 periods, so you're gripping your sticks a little bit tighter than what you normally would. They've had some good chances, but the minute they miss, the transition from defense to offense from the Patriots, it's so quick. And if you have any kind of breakdown, or you lose any kind of stick battle, and you don't have a stick on a puck, or you don't have your stick on a player, like, they're going to put her in the net. They're that good.
Here's the thing, Colin. We talked a lot about this entering the tournament. We thought one of the big strengths for Flin Flon would be their physical play. We thought, typically the teams down east don't hit as much. And I'm thinking about this game today, and I commented with Keith, who's doing the color. I said, I haven't seen a lot of hits, but then it's kind of come to me. That's because I think of how fast Toronto is.
They are a very fast team, and they all skate well. Like normally when you watch a junior A team, there's a couple players that maybe have strong hockey IQ, but maybe they aren't as good on their edges or as good on their skates. But this is a good skating team. It's a quick team. Even the big guys skate well and move well. And so the other thing that people need to appreciate is that the Credit Union Center here, it's a big sheet of ice.
Yeah.
Like, it would probably be the biggest sheet that we would have in our league. And, of course, as you and I discussed during the break, the Whitney Forum is a unique rink. You can't run and gun in the Whitney Forum. You can't dangle in the Whitney Forum. It's a chip and chase and battle and grind and play. And I was saying to Kevin Surratt, the MJHL commissioner, that if the Bombers were playing the Patriots in the Whitney Forum in a 3 or 4 game series, it would be a different story for
Absolutely.
sure. But I mean, they can dangle. And a friend of mine had texted me and said, boy, on TV, the Bombers don't look very quick. I said, you know what? I'm sitting right at the glass. The Bombers are skating as well as I've ever seen them skate. They're playing much better than they played yesterday. The pace is very good. They aren't being outskated, but the transition, like I think if anything, they might be exposing the size of our defense and their mobility a little bit. Like, I think that Sam Ward is having one of the best games I've seen him play. He's moving the puck super well, and Xavier Fauchon is moving the puck well, but some of the other guys are having trouble because they're bigger and they're not as quick, right? And so when you're playing against a quick team that's fast and dynamic and they move the puck so well, tape to tape, if you're just a fraction of a second behind, you're going to get exposed, and that's what's happening, really.
Well, and they're also cashing in. I mean, it's one thing, like you mentioned, to do what you're doing. You also have to execute, and they execute Trent and Werner both made some pretty good saves here today, but they're really taking advantage. They get to the net, Kyle, and their execution is as good as I've seen.
It's unbelievable, and you know what? Like, Finn hasn't played for a while, but I mean, he is a quality goaltender. Like,
absolutely.
He is definitely the goalie of the future for the Bombers, and I really like how he moves in battles, and he's in there competing and playing well, and even when he's making the right move and being in position, they're executing. Like, these guys can finish. They're a really good team, and that top line is as I said before, probably one of the best in junior A hockey.
Well, it certainly is. Like we said, the numbers don't lie. Over 80 points combined in the playoffs this year. I've never ever heard of that before. I guess if you're Flin Flon, where do you go from here, Kyle? The thing that I think is you got to find a way to win this third period.
Well, for sure, right? And so I'm sure that that Mike is in there saying, hey, guys, we got to win the period. Let's forget about the score. We got to get things clicking. We got to get some goals. If I'm Mike Reagan, I'm probably putting the lines in a mixer. I'm probably changing things up here a little bit and going with some different combinations and telling the kids to have fun and stay disciplined, but try to be competitive and win the period, right? Because now, more than anything, those last two games are going to be must-win games. I was talking to Sal before the game, and
our statistician
he said, we'll be fine. I said, Sal, you know what, honestly, this is not a must-win game today. It would be a very nice-to-win game. Yesterday was really the game that we probably should have won, but now the remaining games are absolute must-wins, right? And then you're up against it, because in this tournament, short tournament with the pool play, if you finish first, you get a bye and you get a rest, right? So last year, Melfort had the first day off. Then they dropped a super tight game against Calgary that they should have won. And then they had really hard games from here on in. And they didn't get the benefit of finishing first in the pool, so they didn't get rest. So they had a hard game against Trenton. Then they came back and had another hard game against Calgary. And then you're nicked up and out of gas. So, I mean, it's unfortunate. That's the way these national tournaments are. Like, it's so important. Like even in your pool, like, you talk about sportsmanship, and normally you tell your kids, like, let's not run it up and embarrass the other team. But the goal differential becomes so important in this tournament that you got to run it up, because, like, if you have a similar record or someone, it comes down to goals for and against or head-to-head and whatnot. So, unfortunately, you got to run it up. You got to keep your foot on the gas, because even if you're winning your pool, the other pool, like when it comes down to that final and a playoff, you might get an advantage because your goal differential is better.
Big third period. We'll see how Flin Flon responds. But like I said, I think they got to find a way to win the period. And like you mentioned, I think it's probably a good thing they're going to have a day off tomorrow. And then, of course, the Sudbury game, like you mentioned, that's huge now on Monday. And then Truro, which we played on Wednesday. It'll be the prime time game here, actually. It'll be a 7:30 start time here, 5:30 in Manitoba. But I think those are two winnable games for the Bombers for sure. We'll see a lot, I think, out of this third period here today, Kyle. I'm very interested to see how Flin Flon responds here.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, I feel super bad for the kids, because you know that it's demoralizing, right? Yeah, you haven't had the two games that you wanted to have. You know you're a quality team. You know that you're a better team than what the score is indicating, and so certainly you want to bounce back. But we all know that room is filled with character. They have good chemistry. They have good leadership amongst the players and with the coaches. And they're going to come out and they're going to battle and they're going to try to play Bomber hockey.
Absolutely. And hey, I don't know if you caught this, Kyle, but this is fantastic. The Bombers get their goal. This whole section jumped up in a 5-1 hockey game. I said, was that a first goal or was that an overtime winner? Boy, the passion of these fans is just tremendous, isn't it?
You know what? Like, there has to be at least 120 Bomber fans that are here, and they're all decked out in their gear. They follow the team so well. Like, I've not seen better followership with any junior A team. You know, people are friendly, they're excited, they're supportive of the team. And yeah, certainly half the stadium came alive with that goal. And
I noticed a lot of that, and we had some Summerside fans, they're cheering for the Bombers too, by the way.
They are, which is really cool, right? And I mean, like, when you look across North America, like, I've been to different professional events in the U.S., and I've seen people wearing Bomber gear.
Right.
Like, I mean, you know what? The followership of the Bombers is right across North America, right? And I know a lot of people in Saskatchewan, like even the teams that were beat out, everyone's rooting for the Bombers, right? So Bomber Nation is alive and well, and hopefully they can bounce back and have a good showing here in the third.
Absolutely. Let's quickly before we let you go, Kyle, nice to see the Bombers finally get it done. 33 years in the making. You know, I didn't anticipate a sweep of Yorkton, but Flin Flon was just so strong and kept it going. Great to see the Bombers finally get that done. As you know, been close so many times. In your opinion, what was the difference this year, Kyle, from what you saw for them finally able to get over the hump?
You know what? It's interesting, Rob, because you know, you become close to the coaches and stuff when you're working with them, and you know what? Like the Bombers, if it were not for Mike Reagan being with the Bombers for 19 years, 600 games, or 1,000 games, 600 wins, like what incredible commitment, right? And so
all the guys he's got to Division I schools.
Yes, and my sense is that there's a strong chemistry amongst the players, even the new kids they brought in at the trade deadline.
Absolutely.
And those kids are playing for Chris and Mike and Tyler, and they want to win for their coach. So I think the relationship between the coaches and players is very strong, and I really think the players wanted to win it for Mike and for J Rock and for the rest of the guys on the staff. And it's a pretty close-knit group, and I know that they're going to come out here for the third and they're going to battle. And you know, I was watching things on afar from social media, and I was thinking, man, if the Bombers won the Centennial Cup, what would be the celebration in Flin Flon given everything that was going on here the last 15 days? So I know the Bombers are going to bounce back. They're a tight group. I know they're going to do it for the coaches, and they might not overcome a 6-goal deficit, but I think they'll have a good, entertaining, and hard third.
One thing we know for sure, these fans are behind them.
Oh, without a doubt, right? Like, without a doubt. And you know what? I don't think they're going to give up. There's no quit in the Flin Flon Bombers.
No, I'm looking forward to a great third period, looking forward to a great tournament as well. Kyle, great to see you. Thank you so much for coming up and chatting with us. We always appreciate it. Great job again with the SJHL. The league in fine hands with you and the wonderful people you've surrounded yourself with.
Well, thank you, Rob. And, you know, certainly I appreciate your passion and commitment. And you're certainly a great ambassador for the SJHL and for the Bombers. And keep up the great work.
You heard what I said in that interview at Nukes. I said the best junior A league in the country, Kyle, and I stand by that.
Although the score today would not indicate that, Rob.
I still think it's the toughest league to win, and I still think that Saskatchewan hockey's the... Ask Brian Trottier how good Saskatchewan
you know what,
hockey
Rob?
is.
You know, it's funny because I was talking to some college scouts yesterday, and they said to me, I love the way the Bombers play. I love the way the league is. And you know what? Yeah, it is probably the most competitive league in the CJHL. And, of course, we're biased. I think it is the best league in the CJHL. And certainly if the Patriots had to come through the 12 teams in the SJHL, they probably wouldn't have much in their tanks for this game.
And like I said, I'd like to see them play a game at the Whitney Forum.
I would love to see that, too.
We should go back to the old days when you have to split up, play half the games in Ontario, then half the games in Manitoba.
Yeah, wouldn't that be cool?
It would be. Kyle, great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, thanks, Rob.
Kyle McIntyre, the SJHL president. We'll take one last quick break, come back with Keith Yeager in the third period. Bombers trying to come back from a 6-goal deficit at 7-1 Toronto after 2. We'll be back with the third period momentarily on 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
Northland Ford proudly supports the Flin Flon Bombers throughout the Centennial Cup. We know that the Bombers will play tough like the Ford F-150, the toughest truck on the market for over 40 years. Northland Ford helping the community cheer on the Bombers as they work to bring the Centennial Cup to the best fans in the country, and they provide you with the best selection on their lot. In the North, for the North, Northland Ford, the dealership you tell your friends about.
The Orland Motel is happy to support this Bomber playoff broadcast, and they also have a wish for each of you to fall in love again with your home, whether rebuilding or settled in, to enjoy your community, take time with your neighbors, and celebrate your friends. The North is a beautiful and unique way of life with deep roots and simple pleasures. So enjoy. The Orland Motel, so proud to be part of our communities.
Go, Bomber, go!
In 1927, Hudbay began and then grew with properties under exploration, development, and operation. Hudbay is proud to be a sponsor of this Flin Flon Bombers Centennial Cup broadcast. Through active participation, bursaries, and donations, Hudbay is proud to continue its 99-year history of supporting the community, its organizations, and its people. Hudbay wishes the best for the Bombers and their fans, built on the strengths of today and tomorrow. Go Bombers, go!
Alrighty, just underway in the third period. Keith Yeager's made his way back to the broadcast chair. Flin Flon down 7-1. We're underway in the third period. Puck is flipped to the Toronto line. Nice job that time. Flin Flon knocked it down. A chance in front. The puck is cleared away, though. And racing after it here is Guy Clone. Guy Clone quickly across the bomber line. Hangs on, throws it out front. Good save, Finn Werner. Slides across to take that one away from Lone. Here's Leo Seitz back the other way. Cal McIntyre talked about that transition game. Big hit on Seitz as he gets leveled in front of the Toronto bench, and he'll have to leave the ice as he lost his helmet. But Cal McIntyre touching on the transition game, and we really saw an example of that. Flin Flon gets the puck deep in their zone, and then all of a sudden, bang, a odd man rush the other way. They're so fast, this Toronto team.
They're really, really quick. That was a huge hit. They're going to retrieve Leo Seitz' helmet from the Toronto bench.
Flin Flon goes back to work to get the puck inside the Toronto zone. There's a wraparound attempt that time from Yakimchuk, trying to get it to go. It's knocked away at the last second. Puck is picked up here by Hathaway. And he can really fly, too. Hathaway down the lane. Walks in, shoots it. Save Werner. Rebound grabbed here by Muke. Already a couple of good chances for Toronto in the early going. As they'll dump that one in. Yakimchuk around the boards. Hathaway on top of him. Good work by Yakimchuk to stay with it, but puck is now held in here by Ryan. Ryan's got a couple of assists in this hockey game here today. Just underway in the third period. Like I mentioned, Ryder Muka, the lone Bomber goal scorer. Try to pin that one up along the boards. Nice to see Flin Flon finally get their first goal of the tournament. And obviously a big, big game coming up on Monday as they'll face off against Sudbury. Flin Flon needing to certainly pull out their last two wins. They'll have a chance to playoff round and try to regroup here from today. And I think go a long way, Keith, if they can win this third period. That'll be the big thing for them.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing to Kyle just before we came back on air, is that they got to just go win this period, get some confidence going for your next game. You still got a chance to get into the medal round.
Here's Ulmer up the ice for Flin Flon. He's had a nice game today. Ulmer throws it back up, but there's a chance. Delisle spins and shoots, and Bracklio will make the save and hang on. 17:26 to go. Just underway in the third period here this afternoon. Shots, by the way, 29-19 now in favor of Toronto. Go ahead.
Unfortunately, that shot hit him right in the crest, and it's always tough to get a goal when you're hitting the goalie in the crest, that's for sure.
Has he given up a rebound today?
Definitely not since the beginning of the first period.
Yeah, I don't think he has. He's been, mind you, the Bombers haven't had a lot of great offensive zone time either. Knudsen will hold it in. Puck goes back, and then here's a chance now for Connor Miller. I predict he'll get a goal here today. Puck comes back to Fashawn at the blue line. Fashawn will dump that one in. Back of the goal for Rhett Ewan. Nice job there. Back out front. Oh, he had Arbery backdoor. Missed the pass, though. Good work by Rhett Ewan behind the Toronto net. Puck is bouncing. Arbery in there. Around the boards it goes. Knudsen will hold it in. Puck now comes out. Knudsen inside his own zone. Plays it back here to Fashawn. The bounce pass to Miller. He'll chip it in. Arbery racing down the ice here on Schmidt. Schmidt just gets away and leaves it back to the Toronto net this time for Vacha. Vacha's got it. He'll take off the center. Vacha, smooth skating defenseman. Dropped it back, looking for the return pass. He got him behind the D here. Throws it out front. And that's grabbed here by the Bombers, Landon Alexander. Loses it out front to Morey. Morey tried to work his way back out front. Off the side of the Bomber net. Pass out front. Intercepted here by Morozov. Here's the pass to Alexander. Alexander up the right side. Throws it on target. Kicked out of play that time by Caraglio. And Flin Flon looking, I think that break kind of helped a little bit. They come out with a couple decent shifts to start the third period here today.
Yeah, even down 7-1, they got a little jump going here in the third. I think Alexander was looking for the shot pass there, but a great save by the goalie to kick it right over the glass.
Face off back in Toronto territory. 16-16 remaining in the third period. A 7-1 Toronto lead. Ryder Muka, the lone goal for Flin Flon, the first Bomber player to hit the back of the net here in this tournament. Flin Flon holds the line. Here's Knudsen shot. Bouncing puck. There's a rebound. Bombers trying to jump on it. Caraglio loses his stick but finds the puck. that close there, Keith Yeager. Again, Flin Flon knocking at the door.
That's what they got to do. They got to get, when the puck gets back to the point, you got to start driving the net and just get the pucks through. As you can see right there, when you just created some confusion, create some action, they got a rebound and they almost got a goal.
16:05 to go. Great chance there. Good job at the blue line that time by Knutson to throw it up front of the net. Another face-off back in the Toronto zone. Muka, who's got the goal, out there with Lees and Morozov. Kyle McIntyre commenting how he thought Mike would mix and match the lines, and he's done that so far here in the third period.
Yeah, they've definitely mixed them up here.
Here's a chance now for Muka, looking for his second of the afternoon. Throws that in for Lees. He'll quickly get rid of it. Muka tripped up in front of the net, and Toronto will get the puck out. The puck will roll back inside the Flin Flon zone. Lees is there to collect it. Joey Lees. There's a nice stretch pass. Oh, just hops over the stick of Morozov. Right idea. Had him in a good spot, but just over top of his stick.
Yeah, they looked for their own home run pass there, and it just bounced just short of him, and it happened to go right over his stick. End up with an icing call, but those are the kind of chances you got to take when you're down 7-1 if you're going to make it a game of it.
And you know what? You got to take your advantages when you're down maybe this many goals. It gives you a chance to try a few things.
Absolutely. Here's where you get to try some little sort of trick plays, I guess, if you want to use a football term.
Just some different things you might want to try in a real tight hockey game, right?
Yes, exactly. Like yesterday, they wouldn't have been trying those kind of plays.
No. Muka will get the puck out here. Maury comes over and takes that one off the stick of Morozov, and he'll dump it back inside the Flin Flon zone. Knutson in the corner. Lost it back of the goal. Puck comes out front. Oh, just fired wide that time. A good chance in tight for Maury, but he fired it wide, low glove side. Knutson back to Muka. Quickly Maverick Delisle at center. He can't move. Knutson has it at center and sends it back in the Toronto zone. Puck picked up, fired off the boards by Longo. He'll get it back to center before Knutson cuts it off to the Bombers. His backhander sent back down the ice on target. Cracklio makes the save. Puck hits a body, comes back in the Toronto zone. Flin Flon offside. They have to negate the zone. Here's Palermo. Dropped it back to Longo. Longo, nice crisp pass to Bruno. Bruno, a goal and a couple of helpers here today. That first line has been just absolutely lethal. Martin flips it ahead. Grabbed here by Ulmer at center. He'll send it in the rest of the way.
Well, you can sure see that the Bombers, they finally get a chance to go, and their shift's already at the end, and they got to dump it in when they get their 3-on-2s.
Bruce will dump this one back inside the Toronto zone, racing after it to knock it out is Trazo. Around the boards, puck flipped out. Bruce gets his paws on that one at center, and he'll fire it back inside the Toronto zone again. Flin Flon offside, though. Schmidt dropped it back along the boards. Puck set up the ice back in Flin Flon territory. Bruce knocked it down, then it redirected off his stick on target, and Werner had to get his blocker on it. Finn Werner's looked good coming in relief with Charlie Tritt here today.
Yeah, he's made some nice saves.
Puck comes back in front of the Bomber net, grabbed here by Bruce. Feeds it ahead to Arbery. Arbery bumped off the play. 13:41 remaining in the third. Puck hung up along the Bombers' side of center. And they'll work us back to Bruce. Bruce has got it. Looks for a lane. Nice pass up the middle to Arbery. Arbery looks like he had sights in behind it. He sights it back at her. Oh, a good save here by Caraclio. Great chance for Leo Sights in behind the D. He was alone, and he couldn't get it to go. Another good chance there for Flin Flon. You know, if they scored on even half of their opportunities today,
it's 7-3, 7-4
easily.
They're just not quite going in.
Sights will hammer it back in. It's grabbed back to the Toronto net this time by Trazo. He got hammered that time by Stitten. A nice body check. Vacha at center. Toronto goes back to work. They're thrown across the Bomber line, intercepted by Mounier. Here's Mounier. Back to center. Mounier dropped it back to Alexander. Alexander, the high slot, can't shoot it. Rolls off the top of his stick. Puck flipped out. Maury in behind the D. Ward tries to get back, and he does. Good job by Sam Ward to stay with him. Kyle McIntyre commenting on Ward's play, how he's been impressed with the way he's been here this afternoon. Made a good defensive play there. Toronto will send it back inside Flin Flon territory. Muka waits for it. Got crossed up here with Knutson, but Muka will get free. Flipped it along the boards. Chance down for Morozov. Back out front to Lee's. Got a stick on it. Back of the goal it goes. Muka. Back of the Toronto net. Bounced the puck to the blue line. Knocked down by Fashano. Long shot. That didn't miss by much. Morozov digging in deep. Trying to come back out front. Tied up at the side of the net here. And the Toronto netminder, Cracklio, will dive on that one. So another good chance for Flin Flon yet again. The opportunities have been there. Shots, look at that, 29-25. So Flin Flon, 7 shots to 3 for Toronto in the third period.
Well, we talked about
on the Orland Motel shot clock, by the way.
Yes, we talked about the Bombers coming out and win this period, and so far for the first 8 minutes of this period, they've won this period.
They've had a lot of hustle here in this third. They've actually getting some good chances.
Yeah, they're definitely outplaying the other team. They're almost sitting back, Toronto here, but they just can't seem, again, to have that bounce go their way.
Yeah, been a little bit snake bit in the tournament for sure so far. The face off inside the Toronto zone, the right of Bracklio. As Maverick Delisle's back in there for Flin Flon, it's Ulmer, Delisle, and Martin is the forward group for Flin Flon. There's an icing call against Toronto. Fashawn will man the blue line here, along with Knutson. Another good game for Knutson here. The Warrior, like we said, manning a lot of minutes and has looked good here in the tournament.
Yes, he has, and he's such a great shutdown guy. Just strong on the puck all the time on the boards and very tough to play against for the other team.
11:55 remaining in the third period. The face-off back inside the Toronto zone as Delisle will line up here against Kate Collins. Off the face-off, puck is picked up here by Longo. He lost the handle. Delisle tried to get going, tried to throw that out front here. Martin takes his guy down. Picked up out front. Here's a chance now. Spinning is Martin, and he fired it wide. Grabbed by Delisle around. Oh, he just misses it. He puts it through the blue paint. Great chance for Maverick Delisle on the wraparound, but they can't put it home. Toronto back on the attack the other way. Here's the drop pass. Longo out front. Great save, Finn Werner. As he takes that one away from Longo. The nice stretch pass out front. Longo gets the quick shot. And Finn Werner, very sharp between the pipes since he's returned his first action since the opening round against the Estevan Bruins.
He doesn't look like he's missed a beat from that game when he had pitched the shutout against the Estevan Bruins. He's looked stellar in here so far in relief for Charlie Tritt.
Face off back inside the Flin Flon zone, the right of Finn Werner. They're never worried when they have to put him in. Nice option to have if Tritt can't go for whatever reason. Boy, Finn Werner solid in relief here today. Toronto gets the puck back at center. Puck gets kicked back to Rhett Ewan. He's had some good looks in this hockey game as well. Feeds it back to Yakimchuk. Yakimchuk gets rid of it. Here's Bruce. Swings the pass here to Arbery. Redirected off his stick over the glass and out of play. 11:02 remaining. The McDonald's out-of-town scoreboard. Let's take a look at what happened in the Centennial Cup here earlier today. Just the one game. A tough one for Thunder Bay as they squared off against Niverville. Niverville winning their second game of the tournament. A convincing 7-2 victory. Thunder Bay almost pulled the upset yesterday, though, against Canmore. The shorthanded goal, the difference in that one. Canmore won 3-2 yesterday. So a tough one for Thunder Bay today. They're 0-2 in the tournament to kick things off. Ryan back across the Bomber line. Drop that back for Cummins. Cummins in front of it. Tried to hang on. Lost it the last second. Miller has it for Flin Flon. He's to center ice. He'll dump it back inside the Toronto zone. Icing against Flin Flon. Last night, Truro losing to Sudbury by a score of 4-1. That's a big win for Sudbury to even their record at 1-1. They knocked out Truro 4-1. We mentioned Niverville's 7-2 win against Thunder Bay today. 7-1. Toronto leads Flin Flon here in the third period. Of course, they still have the one game later today. Summerside looking for their first win of the tournament. They lost their opener to Niverville in overtime back on Monday night. Will take on the Rockland Nationals, another highly ranked team this year, and they're also looking for their first win of the tournament. Miller set for the face-off here deep in his own zone against Tate Collins. The Bombers win the draw. Arbery pushed it to center ice for Rhett Ewan, but rolled off his stick and grabbed here by Vacha, the Toronto D-man. Looking for Lawton up the middle. Puck will roll to Finn Werner. He'll make the save. Yakimchuk back in his own net. Here's Seitz. A couple good looks for him. Had a great chance the last time he was out there. Off his stick, picked up by Bruce. They hit somebody going off. The Flin Flon's going to get hit with too many men on the ice here.
No. It's just blown dead. It's just blown it dead. It just hit him as he was he was already onto the bench.
Okay. I thought that looked like he was kind of signaling over there. You might want to call a penalty. 7-1 hockey game. They're probably not going to see much called unless it's something drastic.
surprisingly, there hasn't been hardly any penalties in this game compared to
We've had
yesterday.
3 minor penalties in the entire hockey game.
Yeah, we had 3 in 5 minutes or less yesterday.
Yeah, Flin Flon had 6 power plays themselves, and Longueuil had 4, so 10 penalties yesterday. Here's a chance for Seitz back up on Alexander. Scores! There you go. The Bombers back on the board. Landon Alexander on the beautiful pass in behind the net. He'll convert his first of the tournament. And it looks like the Bombers maybe finally starting to find their legs here, Keith Yeager.
Yes, finally they in this period here, they look like they've started taking control. I don't know if Toronto is actually sitting back or if the Bombers are actually just starting to really find their legs, but they were definitely getting better chances here in the third, putting the pressure on. And with 10 minutes left, you just never know.
No, you don't. It's a 7-2 game. Good to see Landon Alexander get on the board. And Alexander right off the faceoff will take off again across the Toronto blue line. It does come outside the zone. We'll see it. Last time Flin Flon scored, Toronto responded with 2 goals in less than a minute. So we'll see how they respond after the second Flin Flon goal. They do get the puck in deep. They throw it in front of the net. That's grabbed by Seitz. To Alexander. Flin Flon's got 2 away at center ice. Alexander trying to get free across the Toronto blue line. Dropped it back for Seitz. Seitz has got it. Oh, out front. Lees is there, and he misses the pass. Great chance again for Flin Flon. Rashawn will dump it in. Here comes the announcement on the Landon Alexander goal, his first of the tournament. Ward gets his second assist of the game, so Seitz awards the assist on the Alexander goal. And Toronto back the other way. There's a chance fired over top of the net that time by Morey. I think Warner might have got his glove on it.
Yes, another great save.
Puck sent to the corner. Flin Flon can't knock it down. There's a chance from the deep man, Palermo. And guess what? Werner will track that. Media timeout. We'll take a break. Flin Flon's got another goal. Landon Alexander's first of the tournament's got it a little bit closer at 7-2. This is the Centennial Cup on 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
There are many ways for you to support our local SPCA. Adoption will allow you to feel the joy from an animal and serve as their forever home. Cash donations are always accepted, as well as donations of pet food, cat litter, and cleaning supplies like bleach, paper towels, and unscented wipes. Our SPCA receives no government funding and relies entirely on the donations of our community. To find the best way to offer support, visit Flin Flon Creighton and Area SPCA on Facebook. This message brought to you by Art O'Donnell in support of the SPCA and the SJHL champion Flin Flon Bombers.
The North of 53 Co-op is not just a building, card lock, or food store. They're a group of people working together to help their neighbors build our community. And they're proud supporters of the Flin Flon Bombers during their Centennial Cup run. The North of 53 Co-op is built by you and for you, and offers the products and services needed by us. That's why it's not just a catchphrase, it's a fact. At the North of 53 Co-op, you're at home there.
This broadcast is brought to you by Eldorado Gold Saskatchewan, formerly Foran Mining, now part of an even stronger Canadian headquartered mining company, expanding its presence at home. We're proud to continue advancing the McIlvania Bay project, less than an hour from Flin Flon and Creighton. McIlvania Bay is Saskatchewan's first copper mine in over 30 years and a federally recognized project of national significance. As we move towards production, we're building momentum and growing our team. As we near production, we're also investing in exploration to help bring Northeast Saskatchewan's next mining district to life. And we need your help. Apply today at foranmining.com/careers and go Bombers.
Couple good chances for the Patriots during the break, but Flin Flon able to weather the storm. Here's Morozov for Flin Flon at center. Morozov, you almost have a feeling he's got maybe one in him here today with the amount of chances he's had as he'll get it in deep. 8:20, by the way, remaining in the third period. Alexander scored to make it a little bit closer. Flin Flon still behind, though, 7-2.
If Alexander can score as many goals as skate blades, he's lost. We'll be in good shape here.
Schmidt will fire that one back in the Flin Flon zone. Werner out to play it. There's Knutson. Lost the puck back to that. Here's Bashog. Played it ahead to Ulmer. Nice drop pass. Delisle's got it at center. Maverick Delisle will take off across the Toronto line. Delisle hangs on. A shot, a weak one fired wide. Ulmer in there quickly tried to pick the puck up. Puck stays in deep. There's Jack Martin after it. Ulmer, once again, will wrap it around the boards. Knutson will try to pinch in. Knutson. They come back out front. Puck comes out, rolls back inside the Flin Flon zone. There's Vachon back to get it. Collins on top of him. Banks it off the boards, back down the ice, and a roll across the Toronto blue line, and grabbed here by Vacha. Vacha will knock down the puck. He'll size things up back of the Toronto net. 7:22 remaining. Chasing him here is Connor Miller. Vacha regroups, and he'll skate it out. Brings a pass up the right side. Cummins to this afternoon. Cummins carries it in deep, back of the net. Cummins still has it. Blue line, there's a chance. Ripped over top of the net that time by Bonavoda. Chance out in front again for Cummins, looking for the hat trick, but he gets denied again by Finn Werner. And the Bomber crowd sitting in front of us cheer the heroics by the Bomber netminder. Miller tried to sidestep a check. Cummins gets it back. What a shift for him. Tried to come back that time to McGuckin. McGuckin has a couple of goals here today as well. Mounier back of the Flin Flon net. Ward lost his stick. He'll get it back. Puck comes out front. Bombers can't knock it away. Ward, though, takes his guy to the ice.
Probably a penalty if this isn't a 7-2 game.
I would think so. He grabbed a hold of him and hauled him down, but play continues. Here's Mounier. They had to stick at center when Toronto had 5 goals. They're not really arguing it. Puck goes off Collins' stick back at the Flin Flon zone. There's Ward. Back of the net. Over to Arbery. He'll lift it ahead again. Sykes looking for the puck, but broken up in the Toronto blue line that time by Bonavoda. Bonavoda's got it. He'll skate up the ice. Bonavoda to center. Here he comes across the Bomber line. Fanned on it. Got a second chance and fired it wide. 5:51 remaining. We'll see if the Bombers can try to narrow the deficit a little bit more. Sykes, so he looked like he had a good move there. He ends up getting it across the Toronto line, but they're offside. And the play blown down with 5:43 to go, but all in all, Flin Flon's got to be happy with the third period so far.
Yes, they've definitely played a lot better in this period. It looks a lot more like Bomber hockey. Even though they've juggled all the lines, even juggled the deep end here a little bit too. Alexander, you saw him play, or sorry, not Alexander, you saw Ward playing with Bruce there for a little bit, but it looks like they've got him back with his regular partner, Yapchuk, again now.
Well, they're trying, like I said, when you're down by this many goals, why not try a few things and see how it goes? Flin Flon will fire that on target. The easy save that time by Caraglio. Toronto jumps on it again quickly to center ice. That's picked up here by Gaiaclone. He'll dump it in. He took a good body check that time by Bruce. Puck comes in front. Fired wide. Yuka has it for Flin Flon off the glass, back down the ice. Puck's going to roll away from the front of the net, so it'll be an icing call against Flin Flon. 5:17 remaining. Again, Toronto in front 7-2 here today. Shots are now 33-27 for the Patriots. So in the third period, it would be 9-7 in Flin Flon's favor on the Orland Motel shot clock.
Yeah, still 5 more minutes here for the boys to try and put a couple more in the net, get some more good feelings as they would head into their Monday. Tomorrow being Mother's Day, maybe one of them will get a Mother's Day goal for one of their moms.
Cummins again leads the face-off, but yeah, you're right. That's a very special day. A very happy Mother's Day to all the moms listening across northern Manitoba and Saskatchewan. Of course, the World Wide Web as well, FlitFlonOnline.com. No more special people on the planet than mothers, so we salute them here today. From our broadcast location in PEI, here's the stretch pass down to Morozov as he's across the Toronto blue line. His backhander, look out! Just missed right side. Lees was out front hoping for a rebound. He was sitting right in a good spot there. Flin Flon will hold it in. Off the bench. Vachon walked in and gets a good chance and denied that time by Caraglio. A good save by the Toronto netminder. Great job. They couldn't jump on it. That was like a hungry man on a cheeseburger there, the way that Vachon, the Bomber D-man, jumped on that puck. Tremendous opportunity, but Caraglio denies him. The puck is now pinned up in the corner.
He came straight off the bench flying, and Joey Lees threw it out on a nice backhand, and Vachon got it, but another big save from the goalie. He came through Caraglio with only 4.5 minutes left. Again, if the Bombers could have 2 or 3 of those chances, this could be a 7-5 game with 4 minutes left here.
Up to 28 shots, which is a pretty good number against this Toronto team. Maverick Delisle back out there from Flin Flon to take the face-off here against the Patriots' Bodie Ryan. Ryan's made his presence felt today with a couple of assists. Delisle gets waved out. Martin goes in. Are they going to wave him out too here, Keith Yeager? They might have to get you to go take one of these face-offs. The way that they keep, there's going to be nobody left on the ice.
Pretty soon you're going to have all 5 guys thrown out of the draw before they drop the puck.
Puck is set back down the ice again. Icing negated. Knutson back in the Flin Flon net. Racing in there is Bonavoda. Throws it to the far corner. Puck bouncing. Flin Flon tried to jump on it. Puck laying back in the Flin Flon net. Martin takes his guy down. Might be a penalty called here. He whacked Ryan pretty good in the back. No play continues. Give Ryan credit. He gets right back up and tries to dig away. There's no quitting this Toronto team either. They're not as big as Flin Flon, but they battle hard for sure.
Yes, they're definitely trying to get the puck off the board.
They play with an edge for sure, and they got some quality hockey team. Here's Delisle. We got stuff happening behind the play. Meanwhile, Almer racing up the ice. Almer races in! And a good save by Caraglio. We had a couple players down behind the Flin Flon net there, but give Almer credit. If you don't hear a whistle, you keep playing. And there's another good chance. And Caraglio showing us some of his capabilities. Wasn't tested very much at all in the second period, but boy, Flin Flon's had 4 or 5 really good chances on. They got the 1 goal by Alexander, but he's made some good saves.
He's definitely kept this game out of distance, if you want to call it that, because if he hadn't made some of these saves in the third, we could have very easily had a very interesting last 3 or 4 minutes of the game.
3:44 remaining in the third period. Toronto in front 7-2. Off the face-off to Ewan. Back to Yakimchuk. The one-timer kicked away. Right pad save made by Caraglio. And the puck is set back in the Flin Flon zone. A 2-on-1 now. There's a chance for a target. Finn Werner there, top of the blue paint. Makes the great save here on Tate Collins. And how about the play of Finn Werner? What does Mike Reagan do tomorrow with the goaltending Keith Yeager? How do you see it with the way that Finn Werner's come in and played today?
Oh, Finn has played so well, but I don't know how you don't put Charlie back in. But, I mean, it's definitely a good feeling for Mike knowing that if Charlie has any reason why he can't go or he's feeling like he's not on his best day, that you can put Finn in there and you're not losing anything.
He's been very impressive coming in relief here today. There's another shot on target. He made that one look easy. Reaches up and grabs it. You know, it's funny. A lot of people out there think that they always question the coach on, this decision, that decision. I'm telling you what, I'm glad I don't have to make decisions. That's a tough call to make for your next game on Monday.
It is absolutely
on the line.
Yeah, if you want to have a chance to win the tournament, you got to have a win on Monday. That's definitely for sure. And
it's
Finn
so
has
easy to say to
good.
Put the other guy in, but you know what I mean? Like, that's a tough decision.
Yeah, I mean, Finn has not looked out of place. He's made some great saves.
Cummins set for the face-off against Miller. Miller been a little bit quieter here in the third period. We'll see if he can maybe get one more goal here for Flin Flon. The final 3:20. They throw the stretch pass to Arbery. Puck comes up the ice. And Caraglio played it, so Flin Flon will get a break here. Try to keep the puck in. Toronto has it, though. It's fed back to center ice. That's picked up here by Schmidt. He'll carry it in. Schmidt will bring the puck deep inside the Flin Flon zone. Wanted no part of Bruce. Came over and tied him up. Good work by Braden Bruce to kick it free to Arbery. Arbery back to that. He'll hang on to it. Brings that pass ahead. Puck chipped back down to the Toronto zone. Here comes White Stinton barreling after that puck. Stinton, no quitting his game as he tried to get that back out front. Knocked down by Alexander. Stinton in the corner. Back out front. One-timer on target. And Caraglio will make the save there. Good work here by this Stinton line. Stinton, Alexander in sights. And I'll tell you what, all 3 of these guys, Alexander's got the goal, but all 3 of these players have all had good chances in tight on this Toronto netminder.
Yeah, the Bombers actually look like they got a slight little bit of anger and chip on their shoulder here in this third, and not in an overly aggressive where they're doing cheap shots, but just where they're actually seem to be finally getting into the game and playing Bomber hockey like I was saying earlier.
2:41 remaining in the third period. A face-off back in the Toronto zone. The Bombers trying to get a little bit closer if they can and try to get some momentum for that big game against Sudbury coming up on Monday. Stinton will line up for the face-off here against Bodie Ryan. Ryan has it along the boards. Can't flip it out. Vachon reached in, tried to keep the puck in. Hits leg, comes down the ice on target. Werner will make the save, and he'll poke that one ahead to Knutson. Back to center ice to Seitz. He gets dropped on the play, but comes to the blue line. Grabbed by Vachon. He's going to take off. Vachon quickly down the ice across the Toronto blue line. Vachon had a really good chance to score the last time he was out there. Vachon will hold it in at the right point. He's tied up here. Stinton along the blue line. Can't knock it free. Puck comes back down the ice. Now 2 minutes remaining. And an icing call against Toronto. Don't forget to be listening in for our Great North post-game report tonight as well. Keith Yeager will have our Flin Flon Insurance 3-star selection here today. And, of course, we'll also have the Warrior of the game after the game as well. Keith Yeager writing down a bunch of notes. We'll see what he comes up with for the particulars here on our Great North post-game report. 7-2 Toronto in front. Exactly 2 minutes to go with the face-off back in Toronto territory. Joey Lees against Ryan. Ryan wins the draw. He'll get that one back to Vacha. Vacha lifts it back up the ice. Knutson cut that one off. He'll throw it back in. Vacha will go back to pick it up. Ryder Muka coming after him. Muka got the first Bomber goal here today. Vacha forced back in his own zone. Good forecheck here by Flin Flon. Muka racing after him. He does get free. He'll feed the pass back up the center where it's grabbed this time by Ryan and sent back off the glass in Flin Flon territory. There's Knutson. Lifts it back to center. Lees has got it. Try to poke that one ahead. That one hit a body. And now Toronto has it. Chance now for Cummins. Walks in off the goal post. Somebody broke a stick. Lees is leading a charge up the ice, though, the other way. Flin Flon will make a change here. Boy, that could have been too many men on the ice for sure there. Cummins comes back to get it. Minute 10 remaining. Cummins for Toronto at center. My understanding is that Toronto has really embraced this Patriots team. Given up on the Maple Leafs there, Keith. They're tired of losing. They jump behind this winning team, this Patriots club. Most popular hockey team now in Ontario. That's a fact. Look it up.
Yeah, I actually think the way the Leafs played this year that this Toronto team might actually give them a run.
He probably would beat them, but it's a well-known fact now. This Toronto Patriots team, the most popular hockey team in Ontario. I don't even think the Leafs are ranked number 2 anymore.
Not even with
Ottawa's ranked second. The Senators are ranked second. And the Ottawa Junior Senators are ranked 3rd. They're 4th. Face-off back inside the Flin Flon zone to the right of the goaltender, Finn Werner. Toronto in front 7-2. Off the face-off. Wicked drive over top of the net that time by Schmidt. Bruce will pick it up with a minute remaining here in the hockey game. Toronto about to go to 2-0. Flin Flon about to drop to 0-2 in that big game against Sudbury, like we mentioned, coming up on Monday. Boy, you don't want to miss that one. A 10 o'clock Manitoba start time. Ulmer, deep inside his own zone. He'll get the puck. He'll play it ahead. Here comes Maverick Delisle up the left side. He'll stick out. Made a move. Trying to get it alone and tapped away at the last second that time, courtesy of the D-man Palermo. You know, we talked a lot about these Toronto forwards today. Their back end is pretty good, too.
They are. They got a couple of really good guys there with Vaca and, who's the other guy I was looking at?
Palermo's good.
Palermo and Ryan. Both of those guys are really, really good. Vaca has been noticeable all game.
Had some nice shifts here today as well.
Yeah, he's got an assist. Howard's got an assist.
Well, they've had a lot of different people show up today. They're one of the top teams in the country, and they've, I think, shown everybody in attendance here today just how good they are. 29.2 seconds remaining in the hockey game. The face-off in the Toronto zone, the left of the goaltender, Caracolo, who's been pretty good, too.
He's made some great saves. Again, this could be a much closer game. It could have been 7-4, 7-5 quite easily going in the
Bombers have got 32 shots on him. Speaking of Ryan, trying to get up the middle. Nice job there. Arbery and Fashon sandwich him with the big check, and that will get an ovation out of the Bomber faithful in front of us. We're down to 9.5 seconds to go as that puck gets lifted over the glass and out of play. How about that? There has been some moments for Flin Flon here today.
Yeah, in the third period, they've really come alive here, and unfortunately, we're hearing a little Neil Diamond with 9.5 seconds left, and not the usual way we're used to hearing this song. That's definitely for sure.
You think Larry Feston will get up and dance to it like he did yesterday?
Oh, I think Larry likes to dance pretty much anytime music comes on there.
He was dancing away here. They had to tell him to sit down and settle down yesterday. Getting a little bit too wild in the crowd here. Fashon will throw that back. That puck is picked up here. Look out. We might have something at the end of the game here. Fashon getting into it here with the much bigger Bonavoda. But that's going to do it for the game. Toronto's happy they're 2-0. And they take this one convincingly by a score of 7-2. But if you're Mike Reagan, not only do you win that third period, Keith Yeager, but you do not allow a goal.
Yes, in the third period they came out and they played much, much better. They didn't give up any odd man rushes in the third, had a lot of pressure down there, had some great scoring chances, and easily could have had a few more goals on the board.
They held Toronto to 9 shots. Toronto still outshoots Flin Flon in the contest, 35-32, and they will pick up the convincing 7-2 victory here today. We'll take a break. We got a lot to get to here from the Credit Union Place. We'll take a break. They're going to do their own players of the game. Of course, we are picking our own 3 stars, right, Keith?
Oh, I got some stars here, yes.
Okay, good stuff. Anyway, we're going to take a break. They can pick whatever they want in the building. We see it a different way. You'll get the official 3 stars here today. We'll take a break. We'll come back with that, the Warrior of the Game, and, of course, the Great North Post-Game Report, all from beautiful Credit Union Place in beautiful Prince Edward Island here on 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
Twin Motors knows the Bombers will make us proud during the Centennial Cup. At Twin Motors, customer satisfaction is their top priority because Twin Motors takes the time to learn what you want and offers advice that reflects that understanding. Experience the best Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram service you've ever had in a no-hassle atmosphere. Stop by and you'll see the difference good service can make. Visit Twin Motors today and go Bombers go!
Creighton Furniture and Appliance Center wish the Flin Flon Bombers luck in the Centennial Cup. Creighton Furniture has what you need to create the feel, function, and features you want in your home, including great prices on upright freezers, retro fridges, and furniture with the colors you've been dreaming of. So while the Bombers make a statement in the Centennial Cup, you can too by shopping at Creighton Furniture and Appliance Center on Main Street, Creighton. Go, Bombers, go!
Bailey Homes are proud supporters of the Flin Flon Bombers on their journey to the Centennial Cup. With 15 years experience in the North, specializing in RTM homes and foundations, they're so thankful to Flin Flon and surrounding areas for supporting them all these years. Bailey Homes is always happy to chat with a potential customer to show what they can do for our community. Your trusted builder in the North? Visit bailey-homes.ca. Go Bombers, go! Flin Flon Credit Union and Journeywell knows the Flin Flon Bombers will give their all in the Centennial Cup Championship. The credit union, through Journeywell, has personalized planning and realistic advice with investment and insurance services to help grow and protect your assets. Customized tools and online access make it easy to plan and access your portfolio. Call 687-6620 and book an appointment. Take your first steps to financial freedom with the credit union and Journeywell.
Arctic Beverages and Gatorade Water are proud to be part of supporting our Flin Flon Bombers in Summerside, PEI for the 2026 Centennial Cup. And whether you're in competitive hockey or you're a weekend walker, hiker, or even cyclist, hydration is key. And Gatorade Water has no sugary or salty taste, and it's infused with electrolytes. Gatorade Water and Arctic Beverages, supporting our hometown Flin Flon Bombers at the Centennial Cup. Go Bombers, go!
Welcome back to Credit Union Place. It's a 7-2 victory here for the Toronto Patriots. Improved to a perfect 2-0 here today. And the Bombers will slip to 0-2, but some nice handshakes with the team and the officials. I always like it when the players shake the hands of the officials. They're a big, big part of the game there, Keith.
Yes, absolutely. They're doing their best to not be involved in the game and try to let the players decide it on the ice. And I thought they did a good job today. There was a few offsides that, didn't go our way, but, I'm not going to judge against them to say that they weren't offside, that's for sure.
All righty, let's run through the Northland Ford scoring summary here today. Didn't take Toronto long to get on the board as they scored. We talked about that big line today, Kamaris, Cooksey, and Bruno. They did not disappoint. Cooksey opens things up, his tournament-leading 4th goal. So he makes it, he scores to make it 1-0. Bruno and Kamaris, the assists on that one. 1-0 here early at the 5:19 mark. Then McGuckin comes back to make it 2-0. Ryan, the assist at 11:25. Cummins would then score, which stands up as the game winner. His first from Murray and Hebel made. So 3-0 at that point after one period of play. That's all the offense they would need. They would get plenty more, but it was a 3-0 lead. After that point, Toronto kept coming in the second period. Karamis would get his first, once again from the big line. Cooksey and Bruno assisting. 4-0 at that point. 5-0. McGuckin scores his second from Ryan at 12-11. Looked like something might be happening in Flin Flon's direction as Buka gets on the board. His first, able to tap home a rebound. Sam Ward, a great job at the blue line, fired it on target. Buka there to jam it in for his first at 18:05, but then Toronto comes right back, bang, bang. To score, Bruno gets his second of the game in the tournament. Cooksey and Kamaris, once again, the assist at 18:51. Then Cummins his second of the game. He would score just 20 seconds later at the 19:13 mark. That was an unassisted goal. So the score was 7-1 after 2. And then Flin Flon did what we thought they had to do here, Keith. You and I talked about it. The commissioner and I talked about it. Flin Flon had to find a way to win the third period. They did. Landon Alexander, a beautiful shot, low glove hand here on Caraglio, and a perfect feed from Leo Seitz in behind the net. The only goal of the third that came at the 9:58 mark. Shots in the third, Flin Flon out shooting the Patriots 14-9. The Bombers wind up with 32 shots. The Patriots winding up with 35 today. And boy, not a lot of penalties at all. We commented on that earlier. I think the referees definitely let some stuff go in the third after the game was pretty much over. But it winds up Flin Flon 0 for 2 on the power play, Toronto 0 for 1, and that is your Northland Ford final scoring summary.
Yeah, and today's game was just a lot more about skating. Yesterday there was a lot. There was more hits in one shift yesterday than there was in the entire game here today. Only a couple of times did you see some big hits, including one that was in the last minute here when the Bombers Arbery threw a hit there. But yeah, it was a much different game, much more wide open, back and forth, end to end. If the Bombers could have had just a few more breaks in that go away, and not to take anything away from Toronto, they definitely deserved all 7 goals they got. But the Bombers could have actually deserved probably a couple more themselves.
Yeah, they especially early, right? I mean, they had some chances. The puck was kind of bouncing up. Again, what was that one play? Remember, early in the game, we couldn't figure out how the puck never went in. And was that Seitz that had that chance?
It could have been, yes. That line was, again, their best line yesterday in the first half.
You score there, maybe a little bit of a different landscape. Right?
I would have made it 1-1 at that time.
Anyway, it goes the way it does. A 7-2 victory here in favor of the Toronto Patriots. 2-0 to start the tournament. Flin Flon again slipping to 0-2, and like we said, pretty much a must-win now against Sudbury on Monday. We'll take another break. Keith's got his post-game show awards coming up momentarily. More from Credit Union Place and more from our Great North post-game report here on 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
Northland Ford proudly supports the Flin Flon Bombers throughout the Centennial Cup. We know that the Bombers will play tough like the Ford F-150, the toughest truck on the market for over 40 years. Northland Ford helping the community cheer on the Bombers as they work to bring the Centennial Cup to the best fans in the country, and they provide you with the best selection on their lot. In the North, for the North, Northland Ford, the dealership you tell your friends about.
McMunn & Yates Building Supplies is proud to be supporting the Flin Flon Bombers. They know that the Bombers won't hold back and will make everyone proud in the Centennial Cup. And just like the Bombers, refuse to hold back on your spring projects. Find hot deals on everything you need to get started, from bold paints to new tools and flooring to a new toilet. Celebrate 55 years of business with the McMunn & Yates Big Anniversary Sales Event. And go Bombers go!
The North of 53 Co-op is not just a building, card lock, or food store. They're a group of people working together to help their neighbors build our community. And they're proud supporters of the Flin Flon Bombers during their Centennial Cup run. The North of 53 Co-op is built by you and for you, and offers the products and services needed by us. That's why it's not just a catchphrase, it's a fact. At the North of 53 Co-op, you're at home there.
In 1927, Hudbay began and then grew with properties under exploration, development, and operation. Hudbay is proud to be a sponsor of this Flin Flon Bombers Centennial Cup broadcast. Through active participation, bursaries, and donations, Hudbay is proud to continue its 99-year history of supporting the community, its organizations, and its people. Hudbay wishes the best for the Bombers and their fans, built on the strengths of today and tomorrow. Go Bombers, go!
There are many ways for you to support our local SPCA. Adoption will allow you to feel the joy from an animal and serve as their forever home. Cash donations are always accepted, as well as donations of pet food, cat litter, and cleaning supplies like bleach, paper towels, and unscented wipes. Our SPCA receives no government funding and relies entirely on the donations of our community. To find the best way to offer support, visit Flin Flon Creighton and Area SPCA on Facebook. This message brought to you by Art O'Donnell in support of the SPCA and the SJHL champion Flin Flon Bombers.
And welcome back here to Credit Union Place. Keith Yeager will have our Flin Flon Insurance 3-star selection. Keith, how's it look?
Well, I got a couple of honorable mentions because was a high-scoring game. I said it was going to be about 10 goals. I was hoping it would be a little more evenly, but it turns out it wasn't. My honorable mentions go to Hudson Cummins and Owen McGuckin, who each had 2 goals here tonight.
For Toronto, yeah.
Yeah, but they were... it was the other players who were a little more instrumental in those goals and stuff like that, but not to take anything away with them, but you got to put the puck in the net when you get the chance. But so those are my honorable mentions. Third star, I got a Bomber. He came in relief, and if it wasn't for him coming in relief, not that Charlie played bad, but not if when he came in relief, if he hadn't have played well, the score wouldn't be 7-2. It would have been maybe 10 or 11-2.
Yeah, he made some good saves, I agree.
And so my third star of tonight's game is Finn Werner.
Good pick.
I think he's well deserving of that, and he played really, really well. And like you said, Mike Reagan might have a hard time picking who's going to put in the net tomorrow, because Finn Werner played well enough to deserve an opportunity for sure. Second star, I got Cole Cooksey. He had the opening goal, which was a beautiful goal. He had an assist along here tonight. And my first star is their top scorer, Luciano Bruno, who he set up Cooksey on his first goal there and had a really beautiful tip-in goal as well, and was all over setting up chances here tonight. And so he is my first star.
That first line is lethal, is it not? You got Tommy Kamaris, Cole Cooksey, and Luciano Bruno, like you mentioned. Like we said, over 80 points for those combined in the playoffs alone. And they were definitely, Flin Flon didn't really have an answer for them early in this game.
No, they didn't, that's for sure. And you can certainly see, again, why they put up 80 points in the first
I don't know if I've ever
games.
heard of that in the playoffs, that many, over 80 points with 3 guys in a playoff run.
Maybe back when the Oilers were in their prime and stuff like that, it might have been...
Gretzky would have had over 30 points himself, but yeah.
Yeah, that's the only time I can...
Very rare, though. It's very, very...
Well, and now we're starting to talk about like Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux type point players in the playoff run, but... Yeah, the Bombers really didn't have an answer for them in the third period. They did find a way to shut them down, because I actually didn't notice that top line in the third period.
No,
unless they backed them off and weren't playing them as much, but I didn't notice them in the third period.
They certainly weren't the fact that they were in the first 2 periods for sure. That leaves us to the frontline sport and leisure warrior of the game there, Keith.
I've got Ryan Ulmer. He was injected into the lineup tonight. He was all over the place, and he had a chance. He could have had a couple of goals easily tonight. That one in the first period where the puck came out from behind the net that just went off past the heel of his stick, where he had a wide open net. Morozov just missed him too, and he was skated himself into a great spot for a goal, and then had a great rush late in the game where he got himself a good shot on net, and if it wasn't for Caraculo making a good save there, we would have had a goal there as well.
I want to mention a couple of guys too before we take our last break. I thought Sam Ward and Xavier Fauchon both played good games.
They did. You could see that both of them were all over. Both of them creating some offense. Sam Ward had 2 assists in the game. Xavier Fauchon had some great opportunities, including that one in the third where Joey Lees threw it out to him. Again, just a few inches here, a few inches there, and the Bombers, probably still lose this game because of giving up 7. It's not very often you ever win a game when you give up 7, but they could have definitely made a game of it, and hopefully, when they come back in these next 2 games, that the goal differential isn't going to hurt them.
Well, we'll see. The good news for Flin Flon is they finally got a couple of goals. They won the third period against a very good team. Hopefully enough to spark them in a very important game against Sudbury on Monday. I'm not sure if the head coach, Jim, will join us or not, but we'll be back with a wrap-up momentarily and set things up, of course, for a big, big game, the Bombers' biggest game of the year, obviously, now coming up on Monday morning. The final score, Toronto winning it big time 7-2. The Patriots over the Bombers here today. One last break. We'll be back with a wrap-up momentarily from Credit Union Place here on 102.9 CFAR and FlinFlonOnline.com.
McDonald's and Flin Flon want to congratulate the Flin Flon Bombers on winning their first league championship in 33 years. They're celebrating with a great variety of cold beverages to enjoy all summer long, including the Blackberry Passion Fruit Refresher, Strawberry Watermelon Refresher, and the Mango Pineapple Refresher. Also want to try the new Cloud Iced Coffee, a new premium iced coffee finished with silky sweet cold foam instead of cream or milk. Enjoy all these new beverages at your local McDonald's all summer long. McDonald's wants to wish the Flin Flon Bombers the best of luck at this year's Centennial Cup in Summerside, PEI.
Great North GM is one of the leading new and used vehicle dealers and Flin Flon Bombers supporters in northern Manitoba. Equipped with a highly trained and professional sales department, they also have multiple certified trained technicians on site to make sure you get the best service for your car, truck, or SUV at an amazing price. Visit Great North GM in Nepal on LaRosse Avenue today, because it's always a great day to cheer on our Bombers to go all the way in the Centennial Cup at Great North GM.
The Orland Motel is happy to support this Bomber playoff broadcast, and they also have a wish for each of you to fall in love again with your home, whether rebuilding or settled in, to enjoy your community, take time with your neighbors, and celebrate your friends. The North is a beautiful and unique way of life with deep roots and simple pleasures. So enjoy. The Orland Motel, so proud to be part of our communities.
Go, Bomber, go!
It's Wednesday night here. I know I don't have the cachet of Saturday night. Even Thursday is bragging about being Friday Eve, and Monday has the whole villain vibe. But now I've got something to stand out with Wild Wing Wednesday at Chicken Chef. 50 cents a wing from 7 to 10. Wednesday night takes a backseat to nobody. Go back to the 90s with your must-see Thursday. Saturday night, overrated. Wild Wing Wednesdays from 7 to 10 at Chicken Chef. It's Wednesday night. You know what that means.
All righty, welcome back to Credit Union Place here once again in Summerside, PEI. Fresh off the Toronto Patriots 7-2 victory against the Flin Flon Bombers here this afternoon. The head coach team of the Bombers, Mike Reagan, has joined us. Michael, let's get to put that mic just a little bit closer to your mouth there. Well, we'll start with the positives first. I thought you had to win the third period today, and you did that.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of, not going to sugarcoat anything. Kind of gave it to the guys after the second period and wanted to see a response, and thought we were a lot better in the third period. Disappointed, frustrated. We didn't come out here to do that. And, first period I thought we actually played a pretty good game. We make two mistakes and, ends up in the back of our net. And, at this time of year, you just can't do that against other teams that have won a championship. You're not playing a middle regular season game, and the challenge for our guys is, like, are you just satisfied with winning the SJHL, or do you want to take a stab at this thing? And I don't know if it's playing back-to-back days. We just didn't have enough juice or what, but we definitely got to take this day off tomorrow and reset and make sure that we got to win 2 games. We got to win our next 2 games.
Not to make any excuses for you, Mike, but you haven't got a lot of bounces in the last 2 games either.
No, you're right about that, Hardy. I mean, I think in the first period, Morrow sets up Reed for a great opportunity, and their goalie makes a phenomenal save. And I don't want to pin this on our goaltenders or anything like that. Like, I'm not saying that our goalies haven't made saves, but right now we need a couple of those.
Right.
We need a couple of those, and I think Tritter and Finner had some bad breaks go against them. Like normally pucks that would hit them kind of hit something and jump over them, or so obviously things haven't gone as we want them to, but that doesn't mean you roll over and give up. This is you get 4 games to try to advance past the round robin, and I think we're going to need a little bit of help. I'm not sure exactly, but we got to take care of what we can control, and that's first of all getting a win on Monday.
Well, and I mean, like you say, you didn't get a lot of bounces, but the good news is, Mike, you finally got a couple of goals to kind of get the monkey off your back there.
Yeah. I mean, we're preaching on the bench, let's win this period and have a positive here, and we did that. So I think we're better than this, Hardy. I really do. And I mean, I know the Quebec game, we were the better team.
Yeah.
We deserve to win that. But that's the problem in this tournament. Because you didn't get the job done in game 1, you're 0-2 instead of being 1-1.
Yeah.
Like if we're sitting here 1-1, I mean, we're probably like, okay, well, we'll just throw this in the garbage and that. But now there's a lot of pressure on us come Monday. So we got to make a decision in that room whether we're going to fold the tent and just enjoy our trip out to Prince Edward Island, or if we're going to find a way to get in and prove that we're better.
You expecting any, I guess probably not maybe the right time to ask, Mike, but I'll throw it out there anyway. You expecting maybe some lineup changes again for the third game on Monday?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Emotionally right now, I feel like making changes, but I've been doing this a long time, and you don't make decisions right after a tough loss. You we didn't even address the guys really. I mean, we talked to them quickly, but told them we're going to use the 24-hour rule and, digest this and let the emotions calm down before we make any, obviously, decisions. And, I mean, whether it's in sport or life, that's probably the best approach to have, so that you're not making emotional decisions.
I thought Ulmer played pretty well today. That one addition you did make for the last game. I thought he had some jam in his game.
I thought Ulms and Maverick were probably our two best forwards at times, Thought Morrow created a lot of things, but also, he had some bad moments in the first period, losing coverage, and again, that's the reality of it. And, so what we're having right now is too many inconsistent moments, and, you just can't afford that at this time of year. But I thought Maverick and Ulms were very consistent for us. We need more consistency out of everybody. It's not okay just to have 2 or 3 good shifts in a period. You need to, if you're getting 6 to 8 shifts a period, you need to have, 90% of them being good and positive ones. You can't be 500 with your shifts. And right now we're having too many guys do that. I guess tonight, because again, game 1, very happy with the effort. We play that again, we probably win that game. So just got to figure out a way to, put this one behind us and be better and win on Monday.
Well, and it's tough too, Mike, because when you get down, I don't think you've ever trailed 3 or 4-0 in a hockey game all year. I mean, it's tough when you're down 5-0. I mean, I can see frustration settling in. That's a totally different situation than your team has seen all season.
For sure. It's not a situation that we've been in very often, and I didn't think we handled it very well. I guess, again, the third period we win the period, but at the same time we know that Toronto's probably taking their foot off the gas too. So I think it was a combination of both. We played much better, and they decided that, the game was in the bag for them, and they're probably not looking to have any injuries or anything like that. So, like I said, Hardy, we're going to take 24 hours here, day off tomorrow, make sure that the group, has, a positive experience tomorrow, and then we'll get at her on Monday.
One last thing, Mike, before you leave. I guess the one thing about your team that you've been able to battle through adversity throughout the year, so just another chance for the guys to try to battle through it on Monday.
Yeah, you're right. And momentum can swing quickly here, Hardy. I think
the fact you got a couple goals today is important.
I do too. You win your last 2, and you're going into the quarterfinals feeling good about yourself, rather than you win the first 2 and you lose the second 2. So we're not done. We got to regroup and recharge and just be better on Monday.
Sounds good, Mike. Thanks for coming up here today.
Thanks, Hardy.
Mike Reagan, the head coach of the Bombers. We're going to wrap things up here once again from Credit Union Place. It was a convincing 7-2 victory for Toronto here this afternoon. And full marks to Toronto for the big victory as they go to 2-0 in the tournament. The Flin Flon Bombers will slip to 0-2 so far. And like we said, a must-win against Sudbury coming up here on Monday morning. That's going to pretty much do it for our broadcast. A big thanks to Keith Yeager once again for jumping in for color commentary. Mike Reagan for his comments before and after the game here today. Xavier Fashon, our Creighton Pizza player profile in the opening intermission. Of course, the league president, Kyle McIntyre. Always great to catch up with him. Our second intermission guest. And, of course, Ray back at CFAR Control. So there you have it. That's the predicament. The Bombers slip to 0-2. Want to try to advance the playoff round. We'll need victories for sure on Monday against Sudbury and a win against Truro to wrap things up. It'll be their final round-robin game coming up here